Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet, live right now for a Liverpool versus Man United watch-along special. Got a great sofa lined up for you. First up, alongside me, a man who is promised he's not going to hit me this time. Adi Bayo-Akinfenwa, good to have you back on, mate. How are you?
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Big game for your beloved Liverpool today.
Yes.
You're quite nervous about this, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm nervous because I feel that for some reason when Mourinho needs a result, he gets it. And that's the reason why I'm nervous. But at the same time, we are at Anfield. We just had a bad boy game against Napoli.
Yeah, great result.
But I am nervous because Mourinho's he's got some black cloud that just follows him when he needs something. So that's the reason why I'm nervous. But we're going to come true. 2-1.
Alongside him, Pato, good to have you back on. Not been on in a while. Great to have you back on. How do you see this game unfolding today?
Well, firstly, I haven't promised that I won't hit you. So we'll see what
Really
happens
honest?
later on. Yeah, I think that Liverpool, they're comfortably better than Man United in every way. If Man United pulls something off, then kind of like Bayo said, it's going to be a bit of like voodoo or something. I don't really see them matching up well in any regard. So I think United are just gonna play very, very deep. This is going to be pressure, all day pressure. I think. I'm excited for it actually.
And alongside him, a great Man United retro shirt he's rocking. Pink
One of the best.
We'll get your thoughts on Man United shortly, but you are in Social Corner.
Yes.
We want you guys at home to get involved in this conversation, so just remind the viewers how they can get in touch and what you want from them.
Yes, I mean, it is very easy for you guys to get involved at home, and you can do it two ways. You can tweet us at Football Daily or at SoccerAM with the hashtag #TheFootballSocial, or you can just drop your questions in the comments below, and I will farm through them and pick out the best ones.
Yeah, and as a Man United fan, are you nervous about this?
I'm very nervous about today. You know, this is the derby. You know, there are City, you know, there are other games, but this is the big one.
This is the big one, bigger than Man
United,
City for you?
100%. Just for the years of competition.
Yeah.
You know, City have kind of come out of the woodwork in the last 10 years or so. It's always been this rivalry between United and Liverpool. So I'm very nervous. Also because on paper, Liverpool look a lot better than United. But again, games are not played on paper.
No, they're not. Very good point. Is this the biggest derby from a Liverpool perspective? Or do you look at the Everton game?
It's different for different folks. I think, look, it's always Liverpool-Everton is the rival, but you do check out the Man U game just because of the dominance of both of us, what we both had. But then for me as well, because most of my friends are Arsenal, so my game is when we play Arsenal. So I do think it just differs per Liverpool, but this is Man United Liverpool. It's always been feisty. Yeah,
you mentioned Arsenal there as well. We'll cover Arsenal as well. Arsenal fans get in touch on the stream as well. Massive win for Southampton, 3-2.
So I'm not going to say nothing until after this game. But if it goes the way I want it to go, you Arsenal supporters are going to get it.
I can't believe that. Massive result for Ralph Hasen and Southampton. Badly needed that. Right, we've got the predictions. Our Football Social accumulated predictions we can show you right now. A tough one to predict this game. I've gone with 1-1. I think Rashford's top goal scorer. You can get 66-1 with that. Bayo, you've gone 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, you go with your beloved Liverpool. Mane to score first, 28-1 with Sky Bet. Pato's gone 2-0 Liverpool. Salah to score first at 17-1. And look at the odds on this. Pete Norman, 1-0 Man United. Fellaini first goal scorer is at 210-1.
Dare to dream.
Wow.
Dare to dream,
It does. It emphasises what you were saying about
this is the thing.
The golf.
Yeah. No, I get that though, but we struggle with Fellaini. We do struggle with Fellaini.
Good odds though, isn't it? Good odds.
If United can keep a clean sheet until 60 minutes and bring him on, he will cause problems.
Yeah.
And again, it's not necessarily the United way of previous years, but it seems to work. It worked against Juventus. He changed the game when he came on.
Yeah. So those are the odds. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. For more odds, go to skybet.com. Right, we can have a look at the results. Loads of football being played this weekend. Here are the highlights. Man City back to the top of the league with that 3-1 win at home to Everton. Crystal Palace beating Leicester 1-0. Huddersfield 0. Newcastle 1. Big win for Newcastle at the bottom there. Spurs left it very late. Christian Eriksen in the 91st minutes to beat Burnley. Watford, some great goals in that game yesterday. Watford 3, Cardiff 2. Watford were 3-0 up. Cardiff forcing a late comeback, but Watford take all 3 points. Wolves beat Bournemouth 2-0, and West Ham continue their good form, beating Fulham 2-0, who remain at rock bottom of the Premier League. Results from earlier on today: Chelsea beat Brighton 2-1, and as we said earlier, Southampton, huge win for Ralph Hasenhüttl in his first home game in charge, ending Arsenal's unbeaten streak. Southampton 3, Arsenal 2, and the big game that we will be covering, Liverpool against Man United. So let's see what that does to the Premier League table. This is the top. Man City top, 44 points, Bayo. Leapfrogging Liverpool again. Liverpool were top briefly, but Man City back in top. The goal difference jumps out to me there, plus 38 at this stage of the season is incredible. Spurs up into third, Chelsea fourth, Arsenal fifth. Man United find themselves in sixth, 26 points from 16 games played. At the bottom of the table, we can have a look at now. Fulham remain rock bottom, loads of work still for Claudio Ranieri to do, 9 points from 17 games. Huddersfield and Burnley make up the bottom three. Right, so Liverpool, Man United, the thing that jumps out to me is this is like the gap between Liverpool and Man United. Liverpool in second, 42 points. Man United, 26 points, down in sixth place. It's not usually, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, would you be gutted with a point against Man United? I can't believe I'm saying that because of the derbies you've had over the years.
Yeah,
but
no, 100%. Like now, this is what I'm trying to say. Like now, and this is no disrespect to Man United, but Liverpool are better. On paper, the performances, Liverpool are better. So, and it's at home. So for me, we should go in there with the mentality like we're going to get all 3 points. So if we draw this game, I'll be disappointed. If we lose this game, I'll be devastated. So for me, it's a win. We're going out there and the Liverpool players should be thinking that, look, we're going out there and we're going to win this game. So, and that's the golf. There's no two ways about it. There is a golf shift.
Big golf, isn't there? Yeah.
Man United were the team. So, you know, if City came here, getting a point from City it's a good result.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it is, you know, but at the moment, United are where they are in the league. 6 points. Sixth place and considerably amount of points behind us. So, yeah, man, I want 3 points, but like I said...
I bet you do, yeah.
There's just something in the air, and I'm just
a bit nervous, tension about it. Pete, let's go to you in Social Corner. What are people saying on the stream about this game? Massive game for both teams.
Well, I mean, there is an overriding theme that Liverpool will walk this. I'm not convinced about that, but pretty much every score prediction I've seen have been maybe 2-3
for Liverpool.
We said this at Everton, and this is what I'm saying. We said this at Everton, and everybody was supremely confident, and it was cool. I get all that. I just feel that certain games, players, as being a player, you up your game. Yeah. You know, you just up it.
I think the fact that it's a derby is a leveler.
Yeah, I mean, you just up it, you know. So that's the reason why I'm not as supremely confident. Plus the Mourinho effect.
Yeah, the Mourinho effect can't be...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, as a manager, Mourinho will be the guy to win this 1-0 and then go and lose next week.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the teams. Let's have a look at the teams that have been picked. First up, this is the Liverpool side that will be starting. Alisson in goal. Klein, big news. Nathaniel Klein back at right back. Dejan Lovren, obviously, they have got injuries at the back, Liverpool, so it's Lovren and Van Dijk, and Robertson starts left back. The midfield three is Wijnaldum, Fabinho and Keita. Test my eyesight a bit because that monitor's quite far away. And it's Salah, Firmino and Mane, the dangerous front three for Liverpool there. Let's have a look at the Man United team. Interestingly, Smalling has been injured in the warm-up, so... Bailly comes in. De Gea, Lindelof, Bailly, and who's that at the back?
Diego Dalot.
Diego Dalot, thank you. Darmian as well. Dalot, Herrera, Matic and Young with Lingard, Lukaku and Rashford. There's a lot of things in the way of this monitor, but that is the Man United team. The big news is Bailly comes in, Smalling injured in the warm-up, and Man United making 10 changes from the team that lost 2-1 to Valencia in the Champions League on Wednesday, which is now 9 because Smalling steps in. But that's... Pato, I want to get your thoughts on this. Does this sort of sum up where United's problem is? The fact that it's another 9 changes. They're constantly chopping and changes their team. Mourinho doesn't seem to know his strongest starting 11.
I don't know. I think that a lot of managers rotate now and kind of pick a team based on the job they need to do. Like it was a dead rubber in the Champions League, really, in midweek. Like it didn't matter. So you'd expect there to be kind of a lot of changes there. In the same way that if they played a Carabao Cup game in midweek and he'd made 9 changes, no one would really care. I don't know if it's that he doesn't know his best 11. It's more that I think he doesn't really know how to set up a team defensively anymore. They've been horrible defensively this season, which is partially a result of bad squad building and partially just poor coaching. But yeah, I really think that changing the team round is not the issue. It's just the fact they've got bad players playing badly with a bad coach.
You talk so much sense, you know.
I think Mourinho has...
You talk so much sense, you know.
I think Mourinho has made the most changes of any manager in the league.
50 changes to a starting 11 in the Premier League this season, which is the most in the Premier League. Not named the same starting 11 in successive Premier League games.
That speaks volumes.
Since December 2017.
If you don't have a consistent team, it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It just does. It speaks volumes. And I hope it continues to speak volumes.
You do hope it continues,
Yes, I do.
And 12 different combinations Man United have had at the back fours, back threes. They've changed the formation, but 12 different combinations in 16 Premier League games. That is staggering, isn't it?
Man, it is. It's a crazy stat. But then even I look at the front three, Lukaku, Lingard. See, that's all problematic. That's good. And then they got Martial on a bit. Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, I mean, sorry, terminologies and that. Like, it's good. Like, I don't think Man United is as bad as even their team on paper. It's not as bad as what everybody makes out to. They literally are underachieving, of course. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I say, on any given day, this team can turn up. So this is why when it's people saying 3-0. If this team turns up, it can cause problems. And
you mentioned earlier, Mourinho does seem to have that habit of getting results in big games when they're least expected as well.
Yes, when they need it. You know, he'll come out, what he'll say prior, and then he'll come out and he'll back himself. And that's, look, it's a good manager. It's one of the best managers in the world. There's no disputing that. And that's the thing. When he needs a result, he gets a result. And that's the nerve-wracking thing. But we do like to think that Liverpool are that much better and they'll just turn up. And it's at Anfield, so, hey.
And we're underway. The match has kicked off. Klein, who we mentioned earlier as well, first Premier League appearance of the season. His 100th appearance for Liverpool. Big game for Nathaniel Klein. So we are into the very first minute of the game. Pete, let's go straight to Social Corner, see what people are talking about on the stream.
There's an interesting question here from a person called Flava Flav.
OK.
Who has asked, does Klopp...
Yeah, well, I mean...
Wow. Here's hoping. Does Klopp have to win something this year to prove or to justify his project at Liverpool?
It's a good question, that as well, because it carries on from what we heard from Jose Mourinho in his interview with Tubes. He also alluded to it in his pre-match press conference that as good as this Liverpool team is, Bayo, Jurgen Klopp hasn't won a trophy yet for Liverpool. That needs to change, doesn't it?
100%. Look, 100%. It's like a player who constantly beats a player every time, but then don't have no end product.
Yeah, the final delivery.
So here we go. Listen, here we go.
Chance.
Now,
Salah.
Come on.
First chance of the game, Firmino.
So he does. You know, we're going in the right way, but at the end of the day, we need to start winning stuff as a club because of our history, how much we've spent. We've got to start winning stuff. So for me, I do believe that, you know what, and Klopp, he'll be the first to say, look, I want to win something, you know, and it is a bigger picture, it's a project, but I do feel that he does have to win something. And then
Does it have to be this year?
Yeah, man. I think we got to win something this year. We got to win something this year. Put him in. B. We got to win something this year.
Pato, what's your thoughts on that trophy for Klopp? Do you think he does need that trophy for his sort of tenure to be a success? They've obviously got to many finals. They've got to quite a few finals under Klopp. He famously doesn't have a great record in cup finals.
He doesn't have to get it this year. But
you don't think he needs it this year?
But at some point, he probably does have to win a trophy for it to be a success. The question doesn't quite make sense, though. You're making it make more sense because it says to justify his project.
Yeah.
And the thing is, his project is exactly the same as Liverpool's project always is, which is to get better year on year and compete for big trophies. That's exactly what they're doing. You don't always expect to win them, but every year now they've gone from being a club that were actually below a team like Arsenal back in 14-15, when they got pumped 4-1 at the Emirates, to being way ahead of Chelsea even. They're comfortably, I think, the second best team in the league. I don't mean that as an insult. Like, I think they're way ahead of Chelsea in third.
Yeah.
I think they're a step behind City currently. So, yeah, I don't know. They definitely need to win a trophy at some point, but if they don't... Say they get to a Champions League final this season or get pipped to the title by Man City, is that a failure?
Oh, the ball's in the back of the net.
Please, no.
The ball is in the back of the net. Man United got the it's offside. Bayo, you were nervous then, weren't you?
I was just like, please, no. Please, no.
We're going to have a look at this now. The corner is whipped in. The free kick, is whipped in. The question is,
Lukaku goes
is there a touch from Lukaku? Lukaku is offside.
No, it's not about touch. It's
but
he goes.
He attempts to make the control, so he is offside, whether he touched it or not. It's the correct decision.
Rough.
He's
so far away as well.
He's so far away.
I think that would have got called anyway, though.
It doesn't matter because he swings the boot and he was definitely offside.
See, Pat, I get what you're saying. I disagree slightly in the sense where I do believe everything should be progression.
Yeah.
But there's not just one trophy to go for.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I get it. I'm not even going to put it out in the sky, but I do understand what you're saying about City, but there's not one trophy to go for. And that's the reason why I would say we got to win something. If it's not... The main thing's the Premier League. I get that. And that's probably the hardest thing to win. But I think we have seen the progression. So it gets to a point when it's got to be more than progression, and then it's that final... That final step to win something.
When you say win something, though, I think it has to be I think it has to be the Champions League or the League, really. I think this team's better than the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, if they win those, that's going to be nice and everything, but that's not going to justify it.
I get it. It just gives an argument, say, oh, well, we've won something. And
I know what you mean.
You know, I agree.
I think the FA Cup just about
But to me,
yes. League Cup, yeah.
But to me, getting to the Champions League final is a bigger achievement than winning, say, the FA Cup. Like getting to the Champions... Because also in the Champions League, there's so much luck. In a cup competition, there's always an element of luck. You know, like Salah getting injured in the final of the Champions League, that's really rough. There's not much you can do about that. So I kind of think that getting to the final of the Champions League... Say if they did that again this year, then that, to me, as a Liverpool fan, I would take over the FA Cup.
At the same time, there's nothing tangible.
Having won 3 FA Cups in 4 years, like, as an Arsenal fan, I didn't care that much. I cared a bit for Wenger because I was sad that he'd had such a long period without it. But one of those is a much better indication of you being a top side than the other.
Pete, do you disagree with that? What were you saying there?
I don't know. It's just with 2 Champions League finals, there's nothing tangible there. You've achieved something, but you haven't won anything.
I'll take to win the FA Cup than get to the Champions League final again.
It's more what it says about your team. Yeah. I think if you reach 2 Champions League finals in a row, you know that you're going to be competing for the Champions League and you know you're going to be competing for your league. If you win 3 FA Cups, it doesn't mean that you're competing for any larger trophy.
But what was the last trophy Liverpool won?
Oh, big chance Liverpool could save.
The League Cup.
League Cup, I think.
Hey, we'll take a pen!
No, it's not a pen. That's not a pen.
Not a pen.
Yeah, so again...
Dominant
it's a trophy, or it's a club almost starved of trophies.
Yeah, well,
one, not even if it's a token trophy, is a trophy.
Yeah.
I'm not indifferent to that. It's more that I think I just don't want there to be this idea that somehow, you know, Klopp would have had a more successful time if he won, like, the Carabao Cup or even the FA Cup. I'm not sure that I think that's true. I was really impressed by them getting to the Champions League final last year. I'm really impressed as well by the fact that people always used to say, oh, to be a top side, you have to go out and spend huge sums of money on players. No, Liverpool just really cleverly recruited.
Yeah, but I mean,
they went to sub-elite club. Yeah, but they have now, but that's because they're at that point now. The way they built one of the best attacks in the world is by buying players for under 40 million each from sub-elite clubs. Like, that's so clever. To me, they've shown that they're one of the best clubs in the world at that, and that actually gives me so much hope for the future of Liverpool because they've shown that they've got a repeatable, intelligent process.
In terms of transfer business, Liverpool and United are like different
chalk
ends
and
of the
cheese,
spectrum.
yeah, absolutely.
On the subject of trophies, obviously the same argument is often applied to Mauricio Pochettino in that, quite rightly so, Pochettino and Klopp are both regarded as fantastic managers, coaches, but the same argument applies in that Spurs haven't won a trophy under Pochettino, Liverpool haven't won a trophy under Klopp. Is there more pressure on Klopp, though, because of the money that they've spent?
100%.
They need to win a trophy. They've spent over 100 million.
Yeah.
Famously didn't spend a penny.
There's way more pressure. There's way more pressure on Klopp than
Poch.
Than Poch, yeah, because that's what money brings. Money brings an expectation.
Oh, God.
But it's the same. You're still saying the same. Even though there's more pressure on Klopp, we are still saying the same statement to Poch that you know what, everybody keeps talking about Tottenham. Everybody keeps saying what a great team they are, but you need to kind of win something to kind of solidify how good you are. But then, I'll go with Pat's saying that I do think it's progression, and Tottenham are the same. They are looking to get better every season. But then I keep saying ask any player, you want people to talk about you, yes, but at the end of the day, you want to look back and say, look, we won this, so we're moving in the right direction.
It's the end of your career looking back. A lot of players that we speak to say no one remembers who comes second in a cup 10 years later.
It's true.
You have the medals to prove it.
It's 100%. So, and that's where it is. And it's just, once you know you've won it, go on.
Liverpool in here, Salah.
Let's just...
God.
Mane.
He's got so
Mane,
much
chance to the ball.
Oh, Lord.
Really?
Chance Liverpool. Oh!
I thought that was in.
Good start to this game,
Yeah.
A couple of long-range pops.
So, Pat, on this, because it is a good debate, and we get your questions in to Pete in Social Corner, because I imagine it will split opinion, the whole does Klopp need to win a trophy debate. Going back to Mourinho's points then, what do you think it is just mind games going into this game, or is he trying to let people remind people once again of all the trophies he's won in his career? Was he right to bring up the fact that Klopp hasn't won trophies, or is this just Mourinho mind games?
I mean, I don't really take anything seriously that he says. He doesn't really... most of the stuff he says, he doesn't really believe, but he says it because he thinks it might cause a problem. Oh, my God. I don't know.
Score now, we're on top.
Whoa.
Oh, is that a handball?
Van Dijk. Nobody would have said that.
Good shot.
No.
Good.
Believe me, nobody needs to remind Jurgen Klopp or Liverpool fans that they haven't won a trophy.
Yeah, they all know it. Yeah.
He's absolutely aware, and Mourinho can remind people all he wants about the trophies he's won in his career, but it doesn't make Man United any better this season.
No.
So it's just the kind of stuff I don't.
You know what?
It's just nonsense.
I'm with you. I think it's a bit of both. I think it's mind games. I do think Mourinho knows Liverpool are better than United now.
Yeah.
But then I do think there's an inner arrogance and inner ego where he's like, listen, as good as they are, they ain't won nothing. So you can you can always be the nearly team. But nearly team don't mean nothing. So when you look to stats, so I think it's a bit of both on him, and I think that's how.
I think he's just trying to add a bit of pressure on him because similarly to Pochettino at Spurs, they've now had a few seasons where they've built the squad. They've built their own squad. Yeah. So anything that comes of this, there's no excuses. So now the fact they've had the years, they've had to spend, they need to start bringing in some trophies.
The thing for me is, though, as a Spurs fan, just going back to what Pato said about progression, is the progression for Tottenham under Pochettino is phenomenal, the way we were before. If we won the Carabao Cup, for instance, it wouldn't change my opinion of Pochettino as a manager and what he's done. I'd love us to win a trophy, I really would, because it gets rubbed in our faces every day of the week. But it's not going to change my perception of Pochettino as the best manager I've ever seen in my lifetime manage Tottenham Hotspur. He's still a fantastic coach, and what he's done with the resources or lack of resources he's had to work with.
Yeah, but then again, it's all irrelevant to what you think is success. And this is, I remember asking. I remember asking the question: would you want to play good football or play bad and win? And different people want different things. They want, I want the complete package. So for you, you're like the progression for Tottenham under Poch is. He's the best manager.
Yeah.
Another Tottenham be like, well, whoever your managers were that won, Harry Redknapp, that won certain things, and I'm not saying I'm just
one day Ramos was the last manager who won a trophy.
So they'll turn around and be like, well, he won. So the aim of the game is to win.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just it's all irrelevant to what your perception of what you think success is.
Expectations aren't static.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool 3 years ago, nobody would have said at the beginning of the season, oh, well, Klopp has to win something this season. But now he's shown that they're in a position to win things. People expect it, and he's spent money. So to justify his spending, maybe they do need to win something. With Poch, you kind of... Oh, my God.
What is...
With Poch, you kind of think... OK, well, every season they've got better, and this year they've spent nothing, and in a way that goes some way to justify... Plus, their players have got a year older. It goes some way to justify why you wouldn't expect them to win a major trophy this year. So expectations change from year to year. And, I mean, I don't know, this is actually the first year under Pochettino that we've seen Spurs take a backward step.
Do you think Spurs have taken a backward step?
They've been substantially worse this year than they were last year.
Third in the table, 5 points ahead of Arsenal.
They have. They've been good. Have they been
Barcelona?
good? Tell me, have they been as good?
I don't think they've gone backwards under Pochettino. I think we've had incredible bad injury results. I don't think we don't have a home stadium. We've had all the politics off the pitch.
OK, but this is partially... Some of this is avoidable.
It's our greatest start to a Premier League season ever. I don't think we've gone backwards.
I think that they've been worse in every respect.
I think we're better at this point than we were at this point last season.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
well, the table says it. It's our best ever start to Premier League
season.
No, but
I mean, yeah, OK, sure. But sometimes that just kind of happens. So, for instance, I think...
We have been lucky in some games.
I think the defence has been pretty bad this season, whereas generally speaking it's been phenomenal under Pochettino. I mean, things like injuries and stuff, some of that is kind of their fault.
Well, our defence has been bad.
Like Dembele's now cooked. Dembele's washed.
He's out for a while. Dembele's out.
No, but he's done anyway. It doesn't matter. When he's played this season, he just isn't the same guy because at his age, he can no longer play the way that he always did. That's something that you can sort out with movement in the transfer window. It's the same way I can say about Arsenal, say, well, we had no fit centre-backs. Yeah, but that's kind of our fault, you know? So, I don't know. I think they've been worse this season than I've seen them be last season and the year before. But, I don't know, maybe I think you still need a midfielder in January. Yeah,
we do. We definitely need to strengthen. Big start for Liverpool, this. You must be very pleased with that Liverpool start.
100% I am, but we need to score. We just need to score. So I'm like
70% possession so far for Liverpool.
Yeah, but Leicester won the Prem with less than that, so I don't even get gassed on possession. We've started good. We need to score. Once we get that first goal, then I'll be a bit more relaxed.
United do seem to be a wee bit like scrambling at the back.
They look nervous. We look good.
At the same time, all the chances that Liverpool have taken are coming from like 30 yards out, 25 yards out.
Well, there have been some dangerous moves down the wing, right? It feels like the three at the back.
I'm not even just shy. I'm just jumping in, seeing Klein here and that. Like, he's come in for his first game. Liverpool's depth in squad is is much better now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not nervous with, you know, I mean, back in the day we had to put Lucas centre back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that just so.
But again, I still think if you're going to go far in the likes of the Champions League and the league, you need a bit more depth in defence. I think up front with like Shaqiri and Sturridge and all how they've performed this season.
That's Gomez. So,
but I mean, like,
I don't think that's amazing depth up front. I think
it's better than having Alberto Moreno.
They can still do with adding some depth. But midfield-wise, you could argue that they're deeper than, say, Man City.
Yeah,
you know, in actual central midfield.
I think they're less weak, or they're more weak depth-wise defensively. Again, if you lose Van Dijk, you've got a pairing of Gomez and
that's definitely true.
Lovren. If you lose one of your wing-backs, you're probably going to play Alberto Moreno.
Yeah, but
and now Klein, if he stays fit.
Yeah, but OK, maybe that doesn't get you like a Champions League win, but do I think that Liverpool still win the majority of their league games, even with a centre-back pairing of Gomez and Lovren? Yeah, I do. I just trust them to outscore teams consistently, and I trust Klopp to be a better coach than most of the guys he comes up against.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Ashley Young looks like he's been in a game already. It feels like with this back three, how many times have you played the back 3-5 this season? Because it feels a little bit like your wing backs and your centre backs are a bit unsure about who's picking up who.
Yeah, I think it's almost like too many cooks. In that, like, they almost play like a flat back five, a low block, and just invite pressure, and then nobody tracks a man when they run.
Yeah,
like it's just like it's a comedy of errors at times.
Matic has had. I think Matic has had a horrific 2018. Yeah. I think he's been dreadful this year.
Tubes was on the sofa the other week and he said the same thing happened to Chelsea in that he had a fantastic season followed by an absolutely horrendous season.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because he played like a superhuman in the 14.
What do you remember when he went to Man United? All the why are we selling him? It's a terrible move. You know, why would we sell to Man United? And then a year later, it's.
But again, last season he was. Last season I did rate him. I think he was
it's a completely different season he's having this season to what he had last season.
I did not rate him.
You didn't rate him?
Season. Well, no, because United's defence, like the only reason you ended up with like a decent kind of goals against tally is because De Gea had the best goalkeeping season I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like the defence, constantly when I saw you, pressure would always turn into good shots. You know, like the way I think if you've got a good defensive midfielder and good centre backs, then you shouldn't constantly have pressure turning into really good shots from inside the box.
But at the same time,
that's all I saw.
They seem much more controlled in midfield. I mean, over the last couple of months, I've watched United.
He's good on the ball.
Continually turn, not this season. Him and Herrera continually turn the ball over.
He was good, but last season I thought he was better on the ball than he was off it. I don't know. I feel like at the time I thought paying over 40 mil for a 29-year-old defensive midfielder was an unwise move. And a year on, I feel more certain of that.
40 mil to United really isn't that much.
Yeah, but it's 40 mil you could have spent on another better defensive midfielder.
How much did we spend on Fred? Look, that's worked out.
Yeah, I know. Well,
but more, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 50-something. Like
Third time this season, in answer to your question, Pete, that United have played three at the back. And interestingly, it's against Liverpool, Arsenal and Tottenham.
Yeah,
again, three big teams that it's how Mourinho looks to set up. But
it doesn't take a genius to work out his tactics that he's going to play three.
Which is why, for the purpose of the game, we want a Liverpool goal first, don't we, to open it up? I mean, I think everyone wants a Liverpool goal first.
Well,
to open the game up a bit.
They had good first halves against Spurs and against Arsenal.
Yeah,
got a bit unlucky in the first half against Spurs and arguably a bit unlucky in the first 20 minutes against Arsenal. But ultimately, they faded a lot in both of those games.
Yeah, and we're approaching the 20-minute mark of this game, but it has been all Liverpool.
Yeah.
In this game.
But again, that's not shocking, though. You know, United were always going to sit back away.
That's how he did at Chelsea.
He did.
Yeah. You know, the famous part of the bus.
You know what you're getting with Mourinho.
I think the reason they don't look dangerous is because United have no creativity in midfield. Pogba's on the bench. Your two centre mids are Matic and Herrera.
Yeah,
you're two defensive midfields, which means there was no connection. There's no connection between midfield and defence and then the front three.
Yeah.
And we saw it against... Who was it against? Was it Chelsea? I can't remember whoever they played midweek. I can't remember.
Fulham, you talking about?
No, the game before that.
Who? Man United?
United. It was, doesn't really matter. Man. But similar scenario. That Pogba, even the same as the City game.
Oh, my God.
Oh, gosh, all right.
The United City game where they dropped Pogba.
Yeah.
United looked entirely toothless on the counter because there was no creativity. They were getting the ball up to maybe like the final third and there was nothing coming from it. There was no creativity.
All Liverpool so far, another corner for Liverpool.
There was no creation from deep.
You need that guy who links everything together, and Pogba does do that.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, your chief tactic seems to be De Gea gets the ball after a Liverpool attack,
because
tries to hit
nobody in
the
that midfield is able to progress the ball successfully.
Yeah, which actually, for weaknesses, despite his weaknesses, Fred can do that, and Pogba.
He does it, but he's slow at it.
Pogba's so good, man. Like,
Yeah.
I just want him to go to a competent manager. That's all I want from him.
Yeah.
Free kick to Man United. 9 attempts from Liverpool to Man United's 1. 70% for Liverpool. It is all Liverpool. Liverpool fans, get on the stream. Let us know what you're thinking. Pete, let's go to you. What are people talking about in the comment section?
Just touching on Pogba and how good he is. Vasco Santos has asked, is it possible for both Mourinho and Pogba to be at United at the start of next season?
Ooh.
No.
No?
No.
I think they're both not.
I think they both could be gone, yeah. I would...
One thing I would say, and I love Pogba. I think he's a wicked player. I love his personality.
I feel like there's a but coming here.
Yeah.
No, the but I was going to say is that I think if Mourinho goes and Pogba stays, I think the thing that Man United did was there's no one player bigger than any team.
Yeah.
So I feel that it sends out the wrong message saying that, well, if Pogba don't get on, the manager has to leave. And that's my thing where I think it's a problem. And
a wider problem for the dressing room.
I think it just sends a bigger message. It's like, don't get it twisted. I'm the same. I don't think they both can be there because you spent whatever you spent on Pogba, and he seems like he is the most vocal. I feel like not that he commands the changing room, but just like France, he's a leader. You know what I'm saying?
So, they're both quite opinionated as well. You can imagine them clashing.
So him sitting on the bench, it won't vibe well. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't think.
But I don't think it's just Pogba that has a problem with Mourinho. I think players like Martial have problems with Mourinho as well. I'm
a massive fan of Martial. I can't understand why.
He is such a good talent.
He's so good.
Such a good player. And also, you look at his goals to game, his stats, everything about him. It's just I love Martial more than a lot of people. I just can't understand why he's on the bench. That's more of a surprise to me than Pogba because of how they're playing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Martial's more surprised than Pogba.
But Pogba's not had a great season by his standards, has he? Whereas Martial's been on fire.
We spoke about this before we came on air, that Nathaniel Clyne's starting his first game this season. This is a game made for Martial to absolutely tear him apart.
Totally agree.
And he's on the bench.
I mean, in a quote-unquote bad season for Pogba, though, I think he's still got 3 goals, 3 assists in the league.
Yeah.
Which is, pretty damn good.
In a bad season, he's still United's best centre-mid, in my opinion.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
And he's just, I don't know, it seems like there's this disconnection now between Man United's hierarchy and Mourinho, which is that, you know, the hierarchy says we're not going to chuck away assets just because you don't like them. So we're going to keep Martial and we're going to, try and keep Pogba. So I don't know. In that sense, it feels like they're more likely to let Mourinho go than Pogba, purely because you've got a once-in-a-generation player and you've got to assume that the next manager is going to want him at the club. That's an interesting ball.
Oh, he was gone. Oh. He was gone before the boy even played. I rate Rashford.
He's had a great season as well.
I rate him. But then and you know what? The biggest thing as a player. When Mourinho was going through his turmoil, Martial stepped up.
Yeah.
Regardless if it was like players, if he did it for himself to prove a point, he still stepped up. And then just to get shunned back to the bench, it's saying a lot that it's not generally just football.
7 goals in his last 7 Premier League starts.
It can't be, for me, it can't be just football that can't be just football that, you're putting him to the bench where he scored 7 goals in 7 appearances. When they were hailing for your head, he came, scored the goals and that, and then all of a sudden he's back on the bench. I'm like, boy. So it is bigger.
A minor injury, didn't he, that kept him out for 2 games.
But
since he's joined Man United,
that is
get your head up.
absolutely sensational play. That's a bad ball.
So it's all Liverpool.
Oh my
the chances
God.
Liverpool have had, and it is all Liverpool so far. Feisty challenged that. Ashley Young and Mo Salah throw into Liverpool. There's not been many real clear-cut chances, though. They've dominated possession. They've had 9 shots on goal as well, but you wouldn't say they've missed any sitters or had any great one-on-ones or anything like that. Here's the chance now for Liverpool. Goal!
My guy!
Liverpool!
My guy! My guy! Said he'll be the first. My guy! My guy! Look at it. Nonchalant. My guy!
Is he your guy?
My guy! Nonchalant. Oh!
1-0 Liverpool. Sadio Mane. It's been all Liverpool. Here's the replay. Bayo, talk us through it.
Yes. Look, let me talk it through. Robertson gives it back to, I don't even, that's Firmino out here. Look, you see it? Put it to Fabs. Fabs just dinged it. Chest took his time. Back of the net.
Oh,
say no more.
It's an outrageous ball.
Look, that's play there. has played, because we were just talking about not being... I was just about to say not being ruthless enough.
Yeah.
I thought, like, it's so comfortable that we're not being ruthless, but that's ruthless. I already said it. Those people that said they should have... Mane, I told you, was going to be the first goal scorer. Look at him.
It's a great run.
Interesting stat before this game. We all rave about the front three, quite rightly so, Mane, Firmino and Salah. None of those three players have ever scored or got an assist against Man United in a combined 880 minutes. It doesn't apply now, though, because he has scored first goal. Look at Jurgen Klopp. Going absolutely crazy on the touchline. It is 1-0 Liverpool.
I see you. I see you.
That is a stat that was there to be broken.
Yeah, 100%. I knew it was going to get broken today.
One of those three is bound to score at some point.
You should have told me that. I would have told you it's going to get broken today.
Pete, quiet over there. Man United's perspective. We've talked about it from Liverpool's perspective. Not great defensively again, Man United.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, they're just they're just not. There's no two ways about it. There was a point just before that where Eric Barry was like 70 yards up the pitch, and he just got pulled out of the defence, and it just shows that United, particularly their centre backs, at the minute just don't know what to do, don't know where to be, positioning wise, who they're tracking. Again, it was a good late run from Mane.
Yeah,
it was hard to track.
I'd say that actually, that's one of. I'm less inclined to say that that's a United mistake than I am for a lot of their earlier things they gave away. Sometimes you just get beaten by an outrageous ball.
No,
it was a good late run between two players. And
no one tracks him. No one's doing.
It's hard to track him when he comes so late.
Liverpool, they track again.
You'd imagine if somebody's not going to track Mane, you'd at least have somebody pressuring Fabinho. Otherwise, you've got a guy 30 yards out picking a pass with no pressure and a guy running with nobody tracking. That doesn't seem like a recipe for a clean sheet. Yeah, it's not great.
You know.
And Liverpool on the attack again. Robertson fouled on the edge of the box. It's a Liverpool free kick, another dangerous area. Liverpool have started this game brilliant.
No, we're looking nice. We're looking nice.
But also, you look at United's defence at the minute and you just don't see a leader. You got Dalot, Lindelof, Bailly, Darmian and Young. Young to an extent, but again, he's a left wing back technically.
And he's faded a lot as well last year.
Yeah, he's kind of almost gone off a cliff.
They're not. Do you know the thing is?
There's 33 now.
Yeah,
I agree. There's no, and I'm not knocking it in the sense where I'm talking about of United of old. There's no. You do something wrong and we'll scrap in the changing room.
Yeah.
I don't ever get that feel.
Yeah.
That, you know...
Chance Liverpool whipped it.
Like the Ferdinand Vidic era.
Yeah, you know, and like you've got that...
Still not clean. Oh!
Come on.
Big chance Liverpool. Lovren with the chance.
Get out, man.
He's down injured as well. I think he'll be fine to carry on, but another chance Liverpool. It's all Liverpool.
But it's just...
Oh, my God.
But that's what I would say, though. If Mourinho, regardless of what, and you can get it wrong... whoever he brought in and he got it wrong. But if man's saying to you, look, I need centre-halves, and he's won what he's won, and he's identified a problem, and you're not giving him the money...
So you don't think that's Mourinho's fault? That's
I think if he's saying...
I think that's Mourinho's
That's Mourinho. He's bought Lindelof and Bailly for a combined, 70-something mil.
And you've got no director of football.
And he
that's
put his
his
hand up, and regardless of what... You know them ones, this is what I'm saying, you thought he was going to materialise, and he never. So you're like, listen, I know I spent X, Y and Z, but...
How many times do you get that, though? How many times do you just get a blank check?
And Bailly looks like a player.
So do I agree.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
But he just gets benched relentlessly. Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Big thanks to Tone, the floor manager, for keeping us refreshed. Thank you, Tone.
Snacks as well, man.
And can we for hot chocolate as well? Like,
hot chocolate. Oh, look at this, Tone. Give it up for Tony with the floor manager. There we go.
I agree with you. I think Eric Bailly looks like the most central defensive, out-and-out centre defender that United could build around.
Yeah, he's got everything you want.
Yeah, but again, he also runs around like a headless chicken at points, and Mourinho just doesn't seem to like him and just seems to vilify him and benched him for 2 months.
Yeah, that was really weird, and he said, oh, well, it's because he's not going to the World Cup or something.
And he also said he'd never play for United again.
The people making the graphics for Sky don't seem to know anything about Eric Bailly either, because they put him down with a French flag next to his name. He's not French. He's from the Ivory Coast. They're a long way apart.
I thought it was the Ivory Coast they put...
No. He had a little French flag. So that's good. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that was a really weird move from Mourinho. But Mourinho at this point is just, I don't know, it's just not making sense.
The thing for Man United, the biggest thing for me at Man United is just there are so many issues. Like, if you talk about Spurs, we go, they haven't won a trophy. That's pretty much it. I don't want to dwell upon the stadium again because we seem to be talking about that every week. But there's you know, there's certain clubs you look at that don't have strength and depth, or the managers. With Man United, you look at the whole Pogba-Mourinho relationship. What's happened to Alexis Sanchez? Mourinho, is he happy? The board. There's just so many issues at Man United right now. It just seems like so much needs to change for a team that historically was so successful for so many years that even if you got rid of Mourinho, or even if they spent more money, it doesn't necessarily mean that all these problems will go away.
I think the issue with United almost is that they've almost lost their identity.
Yeah.
They've almost lost their identity as a club, as a team, in what, say, 10 years ago, people would fear coming to Old Trafford. They'd be like, we're going to get rolled over here. Now people are coming to Old Trafford looking to take points, being like, you know, this is a game we can get 3 points from. You know, we saw with Wolves, the way Wolves played against United. Yeah. They came out, they played, and they probably deserved more than the draw.
But is that an identity? That's just being good. Like, I mean,
no, but again, it's like an identity and a mentality almost.
Yeah, but I just think, I don't know, like, it's just a lack of quality. It's a lack of quality everywhere.
But again, but United have quality in their squad.
They have quality. They have a quality in attack. They have quality in attack. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. The rest of the squad, I think, is pretty fit.
But at the same time, I think one world class,
not great.
One world class centre back.
Yeah, I'll ask you a
changes
question,
that team.
and I'll throw this,
yeah.
and I'm not.
Go on.
Okay, and do you feel Pep and Klopp would get better out of this United squad?
I do, but I don't think Mourinho's a great manager. Not anymore. Yeah, I think they'd get more out of it, but I don't think that they'd be challenging for the title with it.
Oh yeah, okay, I agree with that. So this is why I'm to argue in the sense where I think this squad is still talented. I do think they're
definitely talented. Yeah.
You know, I do think they're underachievement, but I think they've lost their identity, and I think they've lost and the mentality of.
Go on.
It's their mentality. United were feared, but then I do feel everybody has now got money. United always had money before, always had money, so could buy the best players, have 4 strikers that were great, and now everybody's got money.
I think
the gap and the gulf is closed. Yeah. But then I do feel, since Fergie's gone, once you've got into a mentality of changing managers every 2 seasons, there's no stability. So every player new coming into United under Ferguson was, well, it's Fergie's way or you're gone.
Yeah. This
way now is Pogba's like, look, I'll just sit out and wait till Mourinho goes because that's been the pattern recently. Yeah. And that's what I think the problem is you've got to give whoever the manager is, knowing that he is outliving any player. So you can't be like, well, cool, you'll be gone next season, so then I'll get my way. Or if it's that man's way, you bet, like Pep. I don't care who it is, Aguero, they are playing Pep's way or they're gone.
Yeah, like Sane being benched for large stretches of the season. Can you imagine any other club doing that?
You've got to give the manager.
This is why you get a director of football, though. This is what's good about them talking about getting a director of football. Like, the problem is when you have a manager for a couple of years, then he builds a squad for the kind of way that he wants to play. Then if he gets sacked 2 years later, you're stuck with a squad built for that guy, and you get the next guy in who wants to play a different way. So you buy a bunch of players for him, and you've constantly got this kind of mishmash squad and a manager without the perfect talent for how he wants to play. Yeah. So you get a director of football, and your director of football defines your style, recruits managers based on that style, and it means that you're not constantly just shoveling...
Goal chance for United!
Yeah.
Goal!
Oh, my God.
1-1, Jesse Lingard! Pete Dorman is a happy man!
Mate.
Mate.
Mate. I mean,
mate.
That is...
Is that what you've got to add?
That is just staggeringly against the run of play.
Oh, my God.
Again, mistake from Becker.
Oh,
take that all day.
Can we get your Liverpool perspective? In all Liverpool, we just saw the graphic last 5 minutes, 4% action area in their half, 1 shot on target.
It was just that.
They've just scored.
That's all you need, Smithy, 1 shot on target, 1 goal.
Absolutely nothing.
Look at it. Who was?
That's not even a dangerous ball, really.
That's very un-Alisson like that.
He's had a good season.
Bayo, can you describe that for the viewers, please?
It's just a bad mistake. But look, I ain't going to get down on him. He pulled out a wonder save against Napoli. Look.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, I like to
palmed it onto his knee, right?
I like to think that it's raining. And look, I know, brother. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We'll get you out of that.
Great anticipation.
Jesse Lingard's second goal of the season. Lukaku whips the ball in. Alisson at full stretch.
Loves goals in the big game.
Lingard's running in.
Lingard loves a goal in a big game.
He does, doesn't he?
Loves a goal.
Loves a goal at Wembley, doesn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Well, it's just as well, because nobody else does.
Yeah, tell you what, technically that's an assist from Lukaku.
Well, this is the thing about Jesse Lingard, though. United haven't really created chances recently, but he scores when there's a mistake. So against Arsenal, United created basically nothing, but he scored when there was a mistake because he's the one who's always
buzzes
moving.
about, yeah.
He's always moving. I really like Jesse Lingard.
Oh, I rate.
He's so useful in so many ways.
Four of his last 6 goals were for England. It's only his second Premier League goal, but he's
the other one against Arsenal, though.
Love him.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a very open game now, so it's 1-1 with 34 minutes gone.
Now.
Bayo, Liverpool, look, I mean, all Liverpool, one shot, one chance.
Yeah, I mean,
all it takes.
and that's the reason why I'm not so down, because it was against the run of play and we were so supremely confident. But then again, goals do change games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping we get another goal before half time.
Yeah, you've got to back your attack to get through this United.
The next 10 minutes, I think, could define this game.
Pete, let's go to Social Corner, see what people are saying.
There's a question here from Nathan Blowers for Akinfenwa, and he has asked, what would you do if someone was stronger than you in FIFA?
Never. It will never happen. Yeah, you see me in the gym today? No, man. It will never happen.
Oh, my God. They're so dull to watch, Man United. It's a good thing Liverpool are good. How do you deal with it? How do you watch this every week? It's like watching Burnley. Oh, God, I can't deal with it. I felt this way when we played United. Actually, the first 50 minutes are the best I've seen Man United play pretty much all season, where they were really dominant against us. And then after that, game settled down and we were on top for the rest of the match. We should have won.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. Yeah. I can't... there's the part of me that it's annoying to me that they're so poorly run. Because there's so much money and so much talent being wasted. Like, I hate that I don't get to see Pogba play well every week. I kind of hope he does go back to Juve.
Do you?
Well, do you not feel like we're being robbed of one of the best talents in world football, getting to watch him every week?
At his peak as well.
Yeah.
Approaching his peak.
Yeah, he's like 25.
So, again, there's an interesting question here now I've seen from Joe M, who has asked, what do United need to do to fix their problems?
This is what my point earlier is, that there's so many problems at United. It's not. I don't think it's
where
just
do you start?
I don't think replacing Mourinho with another manager.
I think what Pato said was you get.
Oh.
Go on. Shift.
Chance Liverpool.
Shift onto you.
Just dissolve
with another chance
and become part of Man City. And then you'll win trophies.
I think the director of football is, because then the fundamentals stay the same.
Yeah.
Because and to me, I never thought of it that way. Because you're right, every manager has his own mentality, has his own style of football, wants his own money, so you wait for another transfer, so it's another year on. A director of football is, look, this is how we're playing. Fundamentals, so we'll go out. I think Swansea did it, you know, they signed managers that played the Swansea way.
Yeah, and Southampton as well did a really good job.
You've got to have a way of playing, so maybe that.
Again, more short-term than that, I would say signing a top-quality centre-back, like an authoritative centre-back, would go a long way. Look at the transformation Van Dijk has had on Liverpool's defence, for example.
Yeah, I agree.
You still do have outrageous money.
Yeah.
Again. But also just playing your best players. That would be...
Yeah, or playing your best players and having a consistent 11.
Like,
at least a consistent 9.
Is there anyone here, if you put a manager in, like, just for this game, having done no preparation this week, who just picked kind of like an Ancelotti type.
For this match?
Yeah, who just picked the best 11. Yeah, you have to think that you'd get more out of them. You know, who just played Martial. Let's play Martial for once. See how. Let's play Pogba. It seems ridiculous to me that you couldn't just get just by selecting better players.
I'd have to disagree as being a player. I think names take you so far.
Sure.
And then I think players take you again. I mean, and it's all well and good having Pogba, and again, I'm not knocking them, I'm just being devil's advocate here. But a great Pogba plays that wants to play, you then have to have people around him that, okay, cool, you play only when the ball comes, and great touch. But then I'm not going to run when I lose it. So that means you then have to have two players that is going to do the running. And I'll put this, I played for a team, Wickham, last season,
strong challenge.
Who was that? Who's that down?
Keita.
It looks like Naby Keita and Lukaku both down. Very strong challenge. I think the ref's going to...
I understand where you're coming from.
So that's what I do agree. Play your best players. I'm 100% about that. But then I do get that you then have to have players that complement one another.
Yeah, it's more that I feel like with Mourinho, he benches guys because of
he doesn't
like beef he has with him. I never feel like I've dropped Pogba. You know, like Emery dropping Ozil. It's like, I don't think you're the right player for this game.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. Yeah. What I don't like is when it feels like Mourinho's like, well, I want to make sure that if we lose this game, I've got something I can say in the press afterwards. That's what frustrates me.
My issue with that kind of mentality from Mourinho is that if you look at the other top managers, they don't have the ego that Mourinho has. It's all about Mourinho at United. It's the Mourinho show. It's, you know, he's going to be the one who makes the final decision. He's going to take players out. It's never his
what
fault.
I don't get with that? When he came in, and I think that Klopp's got it in it, and Pep's got it out of. No, I think Pep's just, you know, when you've got a manager that you want to play for the manager.
Yeah. Pochettino's a great example
He's
of that.
got
as well.
it, you know. So for me, like, I heard the story at Tottenham that they don't have no days off, and I was like, how can you like a manager that gives you no days off, but he makes you want to play for them? But Mourinho had it. At Chelsea, he had it. It's like, listen,
it's incredible.
I don't care what the world say about us. It's us.
And Inter Milan. Do you remember? Was it Materazzi
that's
when
the
he
reason
let the crying scene in the car park? And that wasn't even where media was. That was like in a. It was night time.
They were like best mates,
crying his eyes out.
But the attitude was different. Those guys were like soldiers. Like everyone wanted to go to war for Mourinho. Whereas now, I feel like Pochettino and Klopp's players, like, they genuinely love those guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's a slightly different relationship, if that makes sense. Like,
I think there's more of a friendship element as well. There's a famous story
or like
Danny
fatherly,
Rose
like they all help them.
I think most of the United squad is somewhat disenchanted with Mourinho.
Yeah.
And I think it's that friendship.
There's no connection.
There's a lot of famous story when Danny Rose got called into the England squad for the first time, and Poch called him into his office and said, "We're selling you." And then he said, "No, I'm only joking. You're in the England squad." And apparently they started laughing, and he cried. But to be able to have that joke with a player, you obviously have to have a very strong relationship with that player. And Dele said similar things, and you feel like Liverpool as well. You just see the body language of players whenever Liverpool get a result, and they're hugging him, they're embracing him. You don't seem to get that with United players and Mourinho. That sort of real love and friendship that...
Yeah, he calls them out in the press all the time, that's why. Yeah. Every time they lose, he calls them out in the press.
He looks unhappy now.
Like, you would never see Klopp or Pep, like, vilify a player in their club publicly the way Mourinho has done, consistently.
And also, you can think of examples of where Klopp and Pep and Pochettino have said after a bad result, you know what, players did everything they could, but I got my tactics right.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I've never heard Mourinho say that. Even when
he's never in the wrong.
Yeah.
It's the issue with his ego.
Whereas I feel like that can bond you as a team if he says, you know what, guys, I'm really impressed by what you put out there, but this was my mistake. And that's what Pep said after they got knocked out by Liverpool in the Champions League last season. And that's how you get better, by admitting you've got flaws.
Even if it is an individual's error, you don't say it publicly. You say it behind closed doors and figure out how to work on it and develop so that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Where there's no progression with Mourinho. Like, look at Luke Shaw. Like, Luke Shaw just got dug out for being overweight and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, publicly in the press.
I know.
It's like, what are you doing?
Not like I've had any problems with them talking about people being overweight and that. You get what I'm saying? But let the man live.
So, 42nd minute approaching, 1-1. All Liverpool this half.
Been interesting. I can't quite. I still can't quite work out what United's plan is really. It's just like hope they don't get through us. Hit Lukaku. That's about it.
It's play a really low block and try and scramble the ball away to Lukaku.
Yeah.
And then to see what happens second phase.
Yeah, Burnley.
Yeah.
Pure Burnley.
Oh, Liverpool on the attack. Firmino, interesting price boost on your screen right now, courtesy of our mates at Sky Bet. Mo Salah to score the third goal was 3-1. That's now 7-2 for Mo Salah to score the next goal in the game. Don't forget, you must be 18 plus, full terms and conditions apply.
Van Dijk went up then, and Fabinho moved into the back line to cover him, which is quite interesting. They're rotating so much. It's quite exciting the way that you see their attackers dropping deep, because there's.
That's quite indicative of Klopp systems, though.
Yeah, and also because there's no Firmino, yes, he's the number 9, but Firmino's not a straightforward centre forward. You know,
and they do that. You watch Liverpool play over 90. The three do that all the time.
It's so fun to watch.
So they don't want to be marked out the game. When you're playing with a number 9, it's very easy to try and mark you out the game.
Yeah.
You see it with Kane now all the time. Kane plays as a number 10, really. So if you watch Spurs over 90, he sits so deep because whenever he's up there on his own, people just try and mark him out the game. What I think Klopp does excellently is those three do that all the time.
You start seeing Salah's playing way more central than he was last season.
Yeah.
You know, you can see he's making them. He does the darting runs now. Rather, last season he was right on the wing and coming in on his left foot.
Do you find that as a striker that, depending on who you're playing against, you have to change where you're playing positionally, or do you always?
Me, I'm a Pacific striker,
right?
So there's not many centre backs that is gonna. If they get me running out wide, they've done their job. So I, 9 times out of 10, stay static. But you will see, take it off him. Strong. God, he's an animal, he is.
Go on.
But, yeah, you will start seeing, and Liverpool would have identified it, that they would double up on Salah. They would have doubled up. Let's double up. Let's nullify Salah. So now if you get him central, you get him central, it's hard
Corner
now
to Liverpool.
We've seen a lot of the ball.
Yeah, and you've actually seen some of the other sides like almost try and mimic that this season, or when they know in a game that they need to kind of confuse a really good back line, then you see them not play a recognised striker. So, for instance, Chelsea against Man City said that we need to move around these excellent centre-backs. The way we're going to do that is we're going to play 3 guys who are just not recognised strikers, and they're going to interchange all game, and we'll see if we can, maybe confuse them. I think that's quite interesting to see them do. But obviously with Liverpool, that's Plan A.
And it's good because when you've got 2, like say you play 3 number 10s, they are not going to stand where a normal striker will.
No.
Yeah.
So naturally they will move because that's their default settings to move.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So you put a striker, I'm going straight down the middle and I'm going to stand in between the D.
Yeah.
Whereas a number 10...
Chance Liverpool, Mane! I
He's
think the flag's gone up.
Great goal.
Dave saves.
Anyway.
Yeah, Dave, quick off his line, David De Gea. Flag is up. We're into the 45th minute now. Not long left. That'll probably be the last chance of the game for Liverpool. Correct decision from the linesman. Been a good first half, this. Very good first half.
How do you feel about Liverpool's season overall? What do you think? Do you think you'll win the league? How far do you think you'll go in the Champions League?
I'm on the fence. I do feel that I think we need to sign. You were saying that we got strength. We got strength in attack. I still think we need to sign another attacker personally. I mean, look, don't get it twisted, and I'm a fan, especially Origi, what he did last time. But we ended up with Origi, Sturridge, and I can't remember who the third person was. I just think that we need to sign another striker. But I think we'll push City. I do think we'll push City all the way. I just don't know if we've got enough to push them over the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm hoping.
City, for me, they seem to just... There's so many times they've just completely opened the team up and won 3-0, 4-0.
Yeah.
And I look at Liverpool's... I think Liverpool's starting 11 is fantastic, and they do have a lot of options, but they do grind out a lot of results. And I just think longevity-wise, over the course of a season, you can't imagine many teams getting the better of Man City.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, if you kind of feel like if Man City are at their best, no one has a shot.
Yeah.
But if they're not at their best, Liverpool are going to be right there to take advantage. Though that said, last season, after January, massively improved. Like Liverpool, the first half of the season, we all talked about them having a soft centre. Second half of the season, they just took off and were unbelievable for the run-in. So that could easily happen again, because Fabinho, Keita have had a lot of injuries and a lot of people kind of still working their way into the team.
So the half-time whistle has gone. You can see the scenes now on your screen. Liverpool 1, Man United 1. Bayo, you must be quite disappointed. All Liverpool.
Yeah.
More possession, more shots on target, more set pieces. Took the lead from Sadio Mane. Lovely finish. But Jesse Lingard, following that error, very unlike Alisson error, hit the back of the net, and it's 1-1. So
yeah,
your reflections on the first half?
I'm actually not disappointed. I was nervous because I thought, Mourinho would have come with something different. But it's been all us.
Yeah. And
they didn't break us down. It was a mistake from our goalie. I believe second half we're going to start again, front foot. I believe we're going to score again. Only thing that's a bit nervous if it does stay this way, it's the same as being 0-0. Fellaini will come. So that's the longer it stays this way.
The game plan still is in effect
it's
for Mourinho.
still in effect in that sense. Sure. But I'm quietly confident. I felt like for 40 odd of those 45 minutes, we totally outplayed them. So they'll be going in there, and the Klopp will be like more of the same. And he'll say, "Listen, we need to start again. We need to start on the front foot." So I am quietly confident that we're going to see this game out 2-1.
Yeah. Liverpool been great at the back this season, not conceded more than 1 goal in any of their last 19 Premier League games. Let's see what you guys have been saying on the stream. Pete, you're in social calling. Just remind people, in case they're joining now, how they can get in touch with us.
Yes, it is very easy to get in touch with me. You can either do it through Twitter, tweet @FootballDaily or @SoccerAM using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial, or just drop your questions in the comments below. And I'm just having a look through now. And Ollie097 has asked, is there any redemption possible for Lukaku this season, or will a big move be necessary to see an improvement? I think it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
In that, Lukaku has struggled, particularly at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
He scored at Old Trafford for the first time in 8 months. Last week, but
2 goals in his last 3 Premier League games. Before that, he had his longest run without a goal for the club, 12 games.
You know what? For me, I don't understand. Strikers always go through bad spells.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always. Kane did it. Like,
do you think it's a position that is heightened when you're not scoring because every striker goes through it? But
I just think if you're not liked or for some reason they don't want to take you, because I kid you not, Kane can go through 10 games not scoring and they'll be like, don't worry, he's going to score. He'll just take one and he'll be off. And I feel like, so when Kane's gone through Kane needs to move to kind of re-evaluate or his career. And I'm like, okay, strikers go through patches where, it don't come off, and strikers are built on confidence. So, of course, we can say, I know people are talking about his work rate, he's not running in behind, and, but that's a confidence thing when you're not, your touch is great, so you don't really want it. You're thinking, and that goes for it, that goes through a player's psyche. But I do think it's mad harsh that people are saying, oh, right, he's got to leave to put his career back on track. Me personally, he's going through a bad patch, but he scored these last 2 games, so that should get put to bed.
The system United play at the minute doesn't really help Lukaku in that he is so isolated up top, and United are playing long balls to him. So you can't really run him behind when you're getting the ball from Lindelof on the halfway. He's having to drop deep, and then that's how United are getting out of a press, and that they come into him and then try and go wide, but ultimately they're just losing it in that middle third of the pitch.
I think it's a knock-on effect because, like you said, they haven't got anybody from defence to midfield to then be on the ball, kind of slot the balls in.
Link up the play.
They struggle with that ball progression. Pogba is that guy who progresses the ball from United's defence through to the likes of Lukaku and brings the forward line into play. Matic and Herrera just don't have that skill set.
We can have a look at the stats from the first half, Bayo. I know that you'll be intrigued to look at them. Here they are. 2 cards for United. 15 attempts for Liverpool compared to 3 to Man United. 4 on target for the home team compared to 2. 7 corners. Liverpool scored the most amount of set pieces in the Premier League this season. No club has scored more from set pieces than them. 7 corners, Man United 0, and possession 61%. But the only stat that matters is it is 1-0. And you said it earlier that you do have to take the chances. Man United will be delighted that they've taken their only chance, really. 2 on target, one of them was a goal.
They're going in, and whatever Mourinho will be quietly confident. He'd be like, listen, we took 1 chance, and the longer we can frustrate them, and then we go for on our substitutions, he'll be happy. But then I think Klopp will turn around, of course, take away the mistake. It's all been us. Bar the goal, we haven't really worked the goalie. So that's the only only bit where we're kind of thinking, all right, we've had all this possession, but saying it, Salah's been pretty quiet. In this game, he's been pretty quiet in the game. So that can be a good or a bad thing because it only takes 1 chance for him. But I'm still confident. I'm in a better mood now than I was at the beginning of the game. So I think we're going to start the second half on fire, and I believe we will score again.
Pete, would you take a draw now, as a United fan? Half-time stage 1-0.
Potentially.
Are you really confident, you really confident,
Right. What kind of answer is that?
I actually don't feel that bad now about those stats because they've had 15 attempts on target, or 15 attempts, sorry. I reckon at least 11 of those were from outside the box.
I agree.
And didn't really test.
That's a valid point.
They've had a lot of possession.
Tested the keeper.
And a lot of territory, but they've only cut United open once, and they scored from it. I reckon United haven't looked overly solid at the back, but again, they haven't really been exposed that much. United had 1 chance and scored it. Again, I could see United nicking this. I could really see United nicking this.
Pato, thoughts? You're smiling there?
No, I mean, it's just amazing to me because, the mindset of United fans, even when they've been terrible, they still fundamentally... I don't just mean now, I mean terrible for, 7 years. The fundamental belief will be like...
Look at Pete's reaction to that.
We'll still probably win. It's staggering to me.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think... I do agree, though. They haven't really... created good quality opportunities. On the other hand, there have been a couple of last-minute interventions. You think about the one where somebody went down in the box. Salah went down in the box, and it took a last-minute intervention to nick the ball out. Lovren could probably have scored as well.
Yeah, he could have done. I thought that was a good chance. Yeah.
So there were some dangerous moments. I don't know. I feel like Klopp will make the adjustments and probably rip through them in the second half.
Pete, lots of people joining the stream right now for the half-time stage.
Yes.
Can we go to you for some questions? Let's take some of your questions. Get involved in the conversation.
There's a few people digging out Alison Becker in the comments, comparing him to Karius, which I think is a bit harsh, but it does lead us quite nicely on to the question from Maisie TT, who has asked, who do you think is the best keeper in the Premier League?
Two areas leading to goals this season Alisson's had. So...
What's he doing?
Who's the best keeper in the Premier League currently?
Best keeper in the Premier League currently?
I still think De Gea's actually had a great season. Like, he's made one or two mistakes as well, but if you look at kind of like the advanced stuff, like the, expected goals and things like that, he's still overperformed massively compared to last season.
Which is shocking considering United goal difference is 2.
Yeah, it's been, they'd be in a much worse situation. Like I think basically a company called StatsBomb look into stuff like this, and they said that based on their data, like, you'd expect him to have saved about 65% of the shots on target he's faced. That's what your kind of good keeper saves, and he saved something like 72%. So he's still making more saves than you'd expect him to make. He's still performing above average. It's just that United's defence has got even worse than it was last season. On the other hand, Alisson's ability with his feet does really give Liverpool another weapon, doesn't it?
I would say the best 3 are Ederson, De Gea and Alisson.
Yeah, Edison, actually.
Yeah.
Edison's quietly just been brilliant.
That's just
but then
the City
Edison's had less to do, isn't he?
Yeah, you do genuinely forget. That's right. You do genuinely forget about City's players. You're like, oh yeah, he has actually been the best. Yeah, Edison. I'd take everything back. It's Edison.
No, but again, this is the thing, though. I think based on performances and results, they've got a plus 30-something goal difference. Fair enough.
Plus 38, I think.
You can make a very good argument that Ederson is the best keeper in the league. But I think in terms of world-class quality and that moment of brilliance, I don't think anybody's better than De Gea.
Yeah, I think
this season.
I think just in general.
Oh, in general, yeah.
I think he's something special. I just think he just pulls out stuff where you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And it's the same. Look, Man City rarely have to defend. They've got the ball. 70% of the time, you know what I'm saying?
There was that save against Arsenal that was behind him and he clawed it away.
Great save.
It was in the net, basically.
But this is the thing, it's not like goalkeepers in the old days, though, where he's not involved except when he's making saves. He's always involved because he's essentially part of the outfield. Like when they have the ball, he's part of the outfield. And also then, after long periods of not using his hands, suddenly he does have to make a crucial save.
They're bringing on the big man.
Yeah, right. Keep your questions coming into us, but right now we can hear what Tubes had to say when he met Jose Mourinho before the game.
Jose.
Hi, good morning.
Good to see you. How are you?
Not bad, thank you.
Excellent. Jose, you've been in management 20 years. You've won everything. Congratulations. Do you still love being a football manager?
Yes, more than ever, because it's more difficult than ever.
Well, how would you say Man United's season's gone so far?
Not as good as we thought, but I predict in the summer that the season was going to be very difficult for us. Our second position last season was a fantastic achievement. People thought that because you finish second, the next season you will be in a situation where you are going to try to do better, and to do better than second is to be champion. But I told that the situation was not that the second position was really a fantastic season by all of us, and that this season was going to be very, very difficult because the teams that stayed behind us, potentially they shouldn't, and in the top of that they had a great improvement in their teams.
Which Premier League manager this season has impressed you most?
I think everybody is trying hard to do their jobs in relation to the objectives and the potential of their teams. People normally we look to the top part of the table. I also like to look to the medium and to the low part of the table. And you can be champion without being champion.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And who do you get on best with? What other Premier League manager?
Nuno was my player, so when he was my player, I have a relation with him. Marco, I know him for 4 years. He's a very good guy. But you know, I have a positive relation with everybody. No problem at all.
I reckon a night out with you and Nuno would be wicked. Be a great night.
In spite of we are now both managers, I think we still have that thing of I was your manager, you were my player.
Do you remind him when he turns up?
No,
like,
no. I don't remind me, but I think there is still that little thing, which is nice. Which is nice.
Is it nice or is it a bit weird that you're now in the same position, but he's sort of looking at you like it's the gaffer, he's still my gaffer sort of thing?
You know, there is that. For example, with Frank Lampard, is a little bit of we play against each other. He's a championship manager who knows next season will be a Premier League manager too. But there is still that little thing in the relationship. I was your boss, you were my player. There is still that little touch of respect, I guess.
Do you think Super Frank will one day manage Chelsea?
I hope so. I hope so. He's doing well. He gave that step that many are afraid to do, which is to go a level below of their level as players. Many of them, they prefer a comfortable seat and wait for a chance in the level that were their level as players. Frank made the difficult decision, one step down, go to the championship, and in that difficult league to prove that he can be that level.
Did he phone you up? Just go, Gaffer, I'm being a manager now, give him some tips.
Not about tips, but about the decision, yes, but not about tips.
Liverpool this weekend, how much do you enjoy going to Anfield?
I enjoy. I always say that I enjoy these places. In a couple of weeks, probably you are here to ask me if I enjoy to go to Newcastle, which is the only stadium in England where I never managed to win a Premier League match. And I will tell you, yes, I enjoy very much to go to St James's Park, in spite I never win. Liverpool is a place where I had difficult times, but also amazing times and amazing victories. I love to go there. I totally respect that warm support from the fans to that team, and I like the feeling of the big matches.
Back out. Liverpool 1, Man United 1. These are the scenes right now. Bayo.
Yo, hey, I'm doing.
He's Instagramming. He's promoting the show.
Swipe
Fair
up,
enough.
second half.
Swipe up. He's doing the
Football
swipe up. There we go.
Swipe up.
Hello. We're on Instagram there. We're on scenes here as well.
Swipe up.
Those are the scenes at Anfield. Bayo, fairly nervous before the game, but less so now.
Yes.
Having seen the way Liverpool played.
Yes.
Are we going to see a Klopp masterclass second half?
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna come at the traps.
Big moves though.
Fellaini is on.
Yeah.
Pete, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, well, we're now playing with three fairly combative central midfielders. I think that's just to try and gain some.
Who come off for Fellaini?
Dalot.
So Darmian's moved over to right back.
So it's now back forward.
Right.
It's probably a 4-3-3 now.
Look, this is nervous for me now.
This is
nervous for me. Look, they're going to go target, so that means Lukaku's going to run off his flicks. Look, I'm telling you, people don't feel like this is league football now. Like this is my sort of football. I understand it. I understand it.
Talk us through this.
Look. This is.
Here we go. Bayo.
Look.
See you later.
Oh, it's him.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's just winning knockdowns from long balls.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Pete, lots of people joining us on the stream. Don't forget you can get involved in the chat in the comment section below. Pete,
get your head up.
What have you got for us in Social Corner?
I'm just having a look.
Edge of the box. Move it quickly.
Well, I suppose we've...
hold it.
Oh, Liverpool in. Klein down the right. Good tackle, and it goes behind four. And Man United... Is it a goal kick?
I think so, yeah.
Given a goal kick.
Yeah, man.
So I suppose giving the attacking prowess we have on show today, Callum Jack has asked who will win the Golden Boot this year.
Ooh.
Again, you do always have your usual suspects, though.
It's a good question, because I'm looking at it now. Aubameyang, 10 goals. It's very tight. Salah, 10 goals. Sterling, 9. Kane, 9. Hazard, 8. It's very tight. Very tight.
To me, I didn't know Kane was banging like that.
Yeah, 9 goals, 3 assists for Kane. Sterling 9, Aubameyang and Salah on 10. So it's very, very tight. If you had to single a player out, who do you think is most likely to win it this year? Aguero's on 8 as well.
I don't know.
It's tough one, isn't it? You can't answer it.
It's hard. Aubameyang's going to have a good season. He's going to score goals this season. Kane's always going to score goals. And the way Man City plays, Aguero's always going to...
Yeah.
But then not even watch Sterling. You know, can't sleep on... It's hard. It's hard.
Interestingly as well, goals and assists, no one has more goal contributions than Raheem Sterling, 9 goals and 6 assists. And, of course, he was named a November Player of the Month.
I think Eden Hazard might be ahead of him for goal contributions now, just after today's game.
Yes, I think you're right.
I think
after the game.
I think actually Messi is. I think Messi and Hazard are now top in Europe for this. Messi on like 18 and Hazard on like 17, something like that.
But again,
which is crazy, really.
last season he had like 32 goal contributions.
Outrageous.
Like for a player who, again, gets a lot of stick for no reason.
Yeah, his output is ahead of Sterling after today's results, which we will talk about as well. The other games, Chelsea winning earlier on today and Arsenal losing to Southampton, of course. Pete, any more questions from the stream that you've got for us?
Who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot then, Smithy?
Who do I think?
Oh, wonder.
We would kind of dodge that
I don't know whether
question.
it will be Kane. I said Aguero at the start of the season, so I'll stick with that.
Great delivery.
And the reason I say that is because, back from what I said earlier, I think Man City will just... They'll open up teams and they'll win a lot of games 3-4s, and I expect Aguero to score a lot. I think Kane will definitely be up there.
No, I agree with you.
I think Aguero...
Has Aguero played much recently? Has he been in and out?
The only thing is, they do rotate
a lot,
don't they?
Yeah, that's why I'd never put money on like Aguero to win the Golden Boot as much as if he played every game, 100%.
Yeah,
you know. But it just,
I don't trust his
Kane plays every game in it.
Yeah, he does.
So Kane's one of them ones. Aubameyang's going to play. To be fair,
did you say Aubameyang?
Yeah, I did say that. It's for tooth anyway, you know what I'm saying? And that's my hitter as well. I didn't even meant to mess up your name. Sorry, my G.
No one's mentioned Salah.
Yeah, I'd go for... Salah would definitely be up there for me.
Yeah.
But I think I'd go Kane. Like, Kane at the beginning of the season, he was down in shots, down in expected goal, like the lowest they'd been, basically, since he came into the team. And now everything's been taken off again, you know?
And he also, as well as that, some of the assists and the way that Kane's linked up.
Oh, my God.
He is on form now.
When he wasn't scoring, when he was scoring less than you wanted him to, his ability to drop into the 10 space and pick up...
And he did that for England as well.
Yeah, against Spain. Like, I don't know. That's always the thing with Harry Kane. Every season I think, oh, great, have you now added, like, kind of like 30-yard pinpoint lobs to your game? Brilliant. No, exactly what I want. What a dream.
He's such a complete player. And
is he the most complete striker in the Premier League then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He is, like... And I always
no question about it for you?
No, he's the most complete striker.
Surely that depends how you class, like, Salah.
I think he's more complete than Salah, in the sense where I think that Salah's my guy in it, and I think Salah's attributes is, lightning pace. Kane not lightning pace. I think you can play Kane, not anywhere, you know what I'm saying, but he's not, if he's getting marked out of a game, back to goal, he'll drop as a number 10. Yeah. And then he'll be able to see a pass, and that's short range, long range. He's good in the air, both feet. For me, I just think he's complete. I always say, like, is that got Alan Shearer with all different other players moulded in one? Like,
he reminds me of Van Persie.
Absolutely.
Does he?
In that sense. Because Van Persie, when he was having a tough game with the centre-backs, would drop into the 10 space and be our best creator. And I think Kane's a better overall goal scorer for me. But he's not dissimilar. You know, he's got the intelligence to do that. Or late career Thierry Henry did that really well as well.
What was amazing for me looking at the highlights of the game yesterday, and Burnley took Spurs to the 91st minute until Spurs scored the only goal of the game, is that the chances that we had fell to Son, fell to Ali, fell to Eriksen, who was the goal scorer. So I looked at it and I was looking at the updates, and there wasn't many Kane's through on goal. It wasn't until you actually watched the highlights and the assist, the passing that he was doing. So when he's not creating chances or one-on-one with the keeper, he's still linking up play, or he's still assisting.
Oh, my God.
How has he done that?
Get there!
Liverpool!
What a talk match.
Big chance for Liverpool.
Oh, my God.
He's that hand, man.
Firmino had 3 players around him and still managed to take away 30 touches and still get a shot off.
That guy, though, as well.
But when he's not scoring, he's assisting. That's the thing.
What I'm saying is, he did that for England when he wasn't getting that much joy, and that he took defenders where they didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And then he's got the straight ability to pick out players. So
Look at this.
So big chance for Liverpool. Good save from David De Gea off Firmino. And it's another corner to Liverpool. Great start to Liverpool. 52nd minute into the game. Just seen a replay of this save. David De Gea down to his left-hand side. Full stretch. Parries it away. And it is out for a corner. Another corner, Bayo, for Liverpool.
We're going to score off a set-piece.
Going to score from this?
Yeah, we're going to score off a set-piece. Who's that guy? Look at him. I don't like you.
That's maybe like the third or fourth time I've seen Bailly get into a good position and meet the ball well, but not clear it properly.
Sure.
That he does everything right until the final moment, where it then just falls
And
into
he
the
looks
box.
like a player. You know
Fabinho.
when you say somebody looks like a player?
Yeah.
Looks like he's like, oh yeah. Like if I come up against him, I'm like, oh okay, I'm going. Yeah. You got to be tough, eh?
But then
you know what I'm saying?
He's just lacking that empire. He's lacking. He's not a fully polished product at the minute, I don't think. But
and that's one thing I agree with you. I agree that I feel with Mourinho, and this is not me, you know, sitting on him or saying anything bad, but it's rare that they develop. You know, it's the Peps, the Klopps that develop them players. So where they haven't got that, where you're like, oh, he needs to add this to his game. He needs to, certain managers which you know, Poch the same. You'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? He's going to get better.
Corner for Liverpool.
Oh,
it's cleared.
Fellaini.
So many set-pieces for Liverpool. 10 set-piece goals they've scored this season, which is the joint most in the Premier League with Tottenham. They've also scored 6 goals from corner, but that one is cleared.
10 set-piece goals.
10 set-piece goals, joint most with Spurs in the Premier League this season. They've had so many set-pieces today, Bayo.
That's to be fair.
And you thought that was going in? You called it before, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Verge, I'm going to chat to him. It was coming right on his head as well. But then I forgot Fellaini's back there now at this,
Klopp and Mourinho having a discussion on the touchline. Looks quite
Tell him,
amicable.
Klopp, say, hey, listen, man, we're going to win something. Tell him that, man.
Got a question here for Pat from Dennis Singleton, who's asked, should Arsenal sell Ozil so that they can fund a world-class centre-back?
I would keep Ozil personally, but if Emery isn't going to play him, yes. Like overall, I'd rather keep Ozil, and I think despite the fact that he's nearly 30, like he's the kind of player who will age well because his game's never been about extreme pace or anything, vision, all that kind of stuff, match intelligence. That doesn't go.
It's physicality that goes.
Yeah, so I feel like he can carry on doing that to quite a decent age, but. Yeah, if he's not going to be played, then it's ridiculous for us to sit him on the bench with his huge wages and his market value depreciating. Like Arsenal can't afford to do that. We're not Man United. So yeah, if we're not going to get the value out of him that we need to justify his contract, then definitely we should sell him and invest.
Have you heard the
place.
fortnight theory about Ozil? He's been out with back problems. He's not been playing.
Right, okay.
So he's missed the last 3 matches with back spasms and issues with his back. And there's a website, I've got it in front of me here, called Wasted on Fortnite, which looks at the statistics of how much a player plays, because a lot of it's online. Ozil's game account has played around 5,221 matches at last count. The average game of Fortnite takes roughly 20 minutes, which means that he's got a total playing time of 104,420 minutes, equating to 72 days. What? A fortnight. So there's a
You've got a lot of downtime as a footballer, right?
Yeah.
You've got a lot of downtime.
They went out of the World Cup quite early.
Yeah. Is that relating to... Is he playing too much? I mean, you're a big gamer yourself, Bayo.
Yeah.
Is that just a ridiculous theory? Is there something in that? Where do you stand on it?
To be fair, he must have comfortable chairs, man. He's got a lot of money out here.
Not sure if you Bob, is he?
So on that, I don't know. People would just be, I think, looking for stories.
Yeah.
I love the way you're asking this question seriously, Smithy. like this is like the JFK assassination or something. It's just like, what do you think about that?
It's a theory doing the rounds.
Who knows? Oh, God.
72 hours.
He's not playing,
72 hours.
He's not playing, and Emery...
72 days, sorry.
72 days.
72 days.
Is what, 2.5 months?
Jesus. Yeah, I mean...
That's time, isn't it?
But, yeah...
Would you like him to stay as an Arsenal fan, Pato?
He was actually my favourite player in the world before he came to Arsenal. When he came, I was so excited, and I've loved having him at Arsenal, even though he hasn't been appreciated necessarily the way he should, and I'd rather he played in a more structured team. But... Yeah, I also think that, we have to be... Oh, God.
What's he heading off?
We have to be kind of ruthless.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do have to be kind of ruthless, and I think we should probably go out and spend a decent amount on top-quality centre-backs So I'd be sad to see him go, but I also want the best for Arsenal overall.
I
want the best for Ozil as well when I see him play. It's like, same as the Pogba thing. If he's not going to play at Arsenal, I'd rather he went to Italy or something and had a really good end to his career. I want to see... Because Ozil does things on the pitch that I don't see anybody else do, and to me, that's why I watch football. That's something I enjoy, you know?
I also find it strange that Emery hasn't... When he has, he's often favoured Ramsey as a 10 and pushed Ozil out.
I think it's the energy. Like, Ozil actually in his youth was a really good presser. Like, with the German national team, was really good at counter-pressing, but I think he prefers that energy there. Now, I think it's the change to the 3 at the back means there's no natural home for a number 10. You know, like, we're playing kind of 3-4-3 and there's not somebody there. Unless you want... I do think it's worth at some point this season, though, trying 3-4-1-2, playing in behind Lacazette.
Thanks, Tone.
Here you go. Thank you, man.
If Ozil's in that team, he has to play through that middle. I think in terms of his best attacking output...
I completely agree.
I don't think there's anybody better in that team, and he should be the first name on that team.
And we do have the personnel for a 3-4-1-2. You know, you're playing behind Aubameyang and Lacazette. That would be really, really fun. So I hope we see that at some stage in the season. But, yeah, we just need to invest in centre-backs and a left-back big time.
Yeah, you need centre-backs badly.
Yeah, I mean, like, today's result, I feel like, is... you know, I don't want to take it away from Southampton. They're good, and I love Hasenhüttl, but I also think, you know, that's what happens when you have one half-fit centre-back in the squad. Like, what can you do?
Yeah. And I think that the way Hasenhüttl plays is high energy, high pressing.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't give a defence any time off.
Yeah, and Lichtsteiner has been appalling.
Yeah. Appalling. I think you saw from Southampton's last goal, that was a turnover. They forced a turnover in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, though there again, you know, like it's a goalkeeping mistake from Leno, which again, you know, when we signed Leno, a lot of us were kind of like...
No.
Shot for Liverpool.
No.
Lovren was about 35 yards out.
Doing. No, don't clap that one. Come on,
Jurgen Klopp is applauding that.
No, listen, I know you're trying to keep it, but not that. Because this is where... The United been saying, we've had the possession, but we're shooting from 30, 40 yards.
Again, 70% possession still in this second half. It has been all Liverpool. They've started better. They've had corners, but it's still only 1-1. 7-0 on attempts in the second half.
You know what? I'm not even going to put it out in the sky, but it's the longer it gets like this, the longer we're going to get nervy, man.
Yeah. That's just a pure lack of match intelligence there.
No, but... in the last 10 minutes, 3 times a defender's taken a shot from
yeah.
And how often is that? How often is that your best option? Like, you've got so many guys ahead. How often is the best option?
It's taken Lovren.
I'm not a defender.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a defender, so I'm an attacker. So play it to the attackers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got this many guys in front of you and they're this good. It's just ridiculous. You kind of feel like it will have to be a counter or something like this, a fast break.
Yeah, because they sit deep, and we haven't got no aerial. We ain't got a Lukaku or Fellaini.
Flying down the right, whipped in. Chance for Liverpool. Oh, too high.
God.
Jesse Lingard clears it. Do you think Liverpool make any changes? We've not seen any substitutions from Liverpool yet. Anyone that you'd like to see come on, Bayo?
Well, if they sit deep like this, I keep saying you got to bring on my boy Shaqiri and that.
You've got Jordan Henderson, Daniel Sturridge, Moreno, Lallana, Shaqiri.
Shaqiri.
Got options there. Shaqiri's the one that you'd like to see bring on.
Shaqiri's the one. No.
Oh, really?
Van Dijk.
Same again. We're just talking about that.
I'd rather Van Dijk did it than Lovren, to be fair.
You had to pick a player.
But before you hit that, you saw United had 10 players 30 yards out. Like 10 players. I think Rashford was just, 35 yards out. He was their highest player.
You've been quiet, bro. We're snatching at stuff.
Maybe their hope is just that they can get a rebound or something. I
think they're just getting frustrated in the fact that United have so many bodies behind the ball.
But in that sense, maybe Lallana or somebody isn't the worst idea. Somebody who can operate in a tight space.
Pete, any other substitutions you expect United to make? Look, the bench is pretty strong. Mata, Pogba, Valencia.
Personally, think you have to see Pogba at some point. But again,
Do you think we will see Pogba though?
I think Herrera has not had a fantastic game. He's looked a wee bit rash out of head of chicken.
I don't think we will.
He's jumping in.
I don't think we will see Pogba.
He's diving into tackles. He's getting roasted.
I think if we're
it's a big game not to bring him on in though, isn't it?
But that is
big statement.
That's exactly.
Oh God.
That's exactly.
Chance for Liverpool.
Let's get a corner.
Space he had there on the edge of the box as well. Ridiculous.
It's been quiet.
Surely, if he sees an opportunity for 3 points, Pogba came on against
Pogba
Arsenal.
and Martial are the two. It depends what mentality Mourinho takes. Martial and Pogba are two, attacking substitutions.
I can see Martial coming on for Lingard.
Martial as well,
I can see Martial coming on.
And then...
Because that's what it is. It's a counter-attack football now.
Yeah.
Counter-attack football.
But you can't see Pogba coming on. That's a big statement that Mourinho's making if he doesn't play a single minute.
Because if he gets... My thing is like this, he'll weigh it up in his head, innit? If he gets a result without Pogba, he's justified.
Yeah.
You know, he's just justified. Like, look, told you. But it's what mindset and he wants to try and take if he sees it. But I don't know. I think more Martial will come before him.
In big games like this, big moments, you want your biggest players. And that. You know, you saw Pogba's influence he had on the Manchester derby last year.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals.
Huge influence,
you know, you can't sit him on the bench. Him and Martial are the players that have...
Pogba in the World... He won the World Cup and literally... not saying he won it, but you can see he was the linchpin.
He was unbelievable.
You know, he was the linchpin.
He suits that system. To me, the system that France play. Obviously, we've got Kante there as well.
I told you,
that system suits him a lot better than the way United play.
Why is that got through?
I don't really buy that, you know. Like, he played in so many different systems at Juventus and he was great in all of them. Like, I see what you're saying. Like, it's set up for him. And to be fair, if you've got Kante next to you, you are probably going to be in a functional field.
Yeah.
But he was outrageous at the World Cup. I think he was every bit as good as Modric was at the World Cup. I'd argue possibly better.
Do you think better than Modric? Yeah.
I thought Modric was fantastic at the World Cup. I thought Kante and Pogba were actually better. Yeah, Deschamps not great. But under Allegri and Conte, when he was at Juve, he played as one of the defensive runners, covering Pirlo. He played as an attacking midfielder. He played as a normal box-to-box midfielder in a 2. He did all of those. But now, suddenly, he's at United. We're hearing that he can only play one particular way, one particular system.
You know. Let me say one thing.
No, it's not really you. It's more like, you know, fans.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. You know, my thing is where, in what you're saying, that, and I agree, and we're just actually spitballing here, because I don't really know the Juventus tactics and who he played, but because you said, you know, he played with Pirlo, and I'm not saying he don't respect the Man United players, but he's the main guy here. So you know when you become the main guy, you
have to step up.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. You're just a little bit like, look, I will turn it on when I'll turn it on because I'm the main guy.
Yeah.
Pirlo's the main guy, innit?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Lord!
But would he not say that in
United.
that France team he was the main guy? Certainly in that midfield.
Yeah, but I get that.
Sure, but he has the freedom to do what he wants.
He has the freedom to do what he wants, and then he's got the players around him as well, which them French players are just. I'm not saying his mentality is different here, but you know, Pirlo tells you to run, you're running. Yeah. Pirlo says, "Come here," you know what I'm saying, and when you play for your national team, it may be a different sort of look. I can't let my national team down and that's the difference where I would say, and that's what I'm talking about, complimenting players. Give the guy the freedom just to be like, look, you're that guy, go be that guy. And I just think Mourinho's a little bit, no, you got to conform to the way I play.
Sure.
And maybe he's just rebelling.
First corner of the match for Man United.
That's the worst thing.
There's been loads of corners for Liverpool.
Don't even say that.
For Man United.
You know what it is. Liverpool had 11 corners. Man United scored on their first.
13 corners for Liverpool, 1 for Man United.
And Man United scored on their first attack. And it's for look at Fellaini. Look at Fellaini.
Straight to Fellaini. Heads it. Oh! Still not cleared. Still not cleared. And it's another corner for Man United.
This is where we start getting shaky.
It was Fellaini that got it.
I'm telling you.
Fellaini worries you, doesn't he?
Oh, he does, man, because he's like me, man, them lower league man, them. You get me? I like him.
Yeah, he just gets in the way.
He just gets there. You can't. He's so big and he's so effective at what he does, and I don't understand how.
And Fellaini's used in big games a lot, isn't he?
I don't understand why they give him so much stick. He's effective. He's not a step over man. He don't run away, but he is effective at what he does.
And he offers you something completely different, doesn't he? Chance.
Oh my God!
Another corner.
Oh my!
In all Liverpool this half, but suddenly Man United. Ash Young whips it in again. Still not clear, but it's gone behind. Liverpool can breathe.
Good clearance from Young there.
65 minutes gone, still Liverpool 1, Man United 1. Get your questions in too. Shaqiri is coming on. This is a sub that you wanted to see. Pete, we're going to come to you in a minute. Firstly, Bayo, thoughts on this sub? Who do you think is going to come on for?
Woody Allen.
You don't think he'll take off?
Who?
Do you think Wijnaldum will come off?
Yeah,
Shaqiri.
What, you got to take off on the front three?
The front three won't come off. He won't.
I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised because I don't think you can. I wouldn't take off Mane.
Yeah.
Because I think Mane's at threat. And
he's probably been the most dangerous.
Yeah. To be fair, I think he has been. I think Salah's been mad quiet.
Yeah, he has. Salah has been quiet.
Mad quiet. And when he has his hands like that, like wrapped up like he's cold and that, he just looks mad quiet. But if he comes off, it's a little statement. But I keep saying that you don't take off. You wouldn't take off Messi.
No,
you wouldn't take off. So if it's Salah that comes off, unless man's going to take off Firmino, and then having playing down the centre.
Change it a bit, yeah. Only Alisson has had fewer touches than Mo Salah in this match.
I really, you can tell, man. He's been
for Liverpool.
He's been on the peripheral, and we need Salah to be on a flame thing. So,
yeah, it'd be interesting to see balls out of play. Interesting to see who Shaqiri comes on for.
He's been really useful off the bench in the last couple of months.
Yes, yeah.
He's been a really good rotation option. I think from a Liverpool perspective, taking Salah off for Shaqiri isn't the worst shot.
If you want somebody to shoot from range as well, better have it be Shaqiri than Lovren.
Yeah, and he made bold subs in the Derby day, Liverpool-Everton, didn't he? You made the point earlier that you had Origi and Sturridge up front, and it worked. I say worked in the 96th minute. It
worked, man. It worked.
What?
This is what we need. Let it be controversial. I don't care. Go score.
Here comes Liverpool now on the attack.
See if they score from this.
Uh-oh.
That's terrible, man.
Poor.
Pete, let's go to your social corner before we get the sub. What are people saying?
Again, people are quite impressed that United are still in this game.
Yeah.
Which I think...
Fair enough.
Is it?
To go away to Anfield and be in it against this team with this lineup you've got, overall, in terms of what it says about United, maybe not.
But this thing, like...
There's no shame in going away to Anfield.
Yeah, I know. Okay, it's a decent...
Oh, what a pass.
It's a decent position to be in, but, like...
Mad, isn't it?
Liverpool haven't really had that many amazing chances.
No, I completely... But that's what I mean by impressive. Like, not impressive as in, like, oh, wow, your keeper's made 10 saves. I mean, like, limiting them to very little at Anfield is pretty impressive.
We just snatch it.
The thing is, for me, the stats will say Liverpool had all this possession on the chances, but there's not been that many clear cut. And the amount of times we've just seen you strike a ball from 25 yards, which is not...
Yeah, but you have got... Look, United, don't get it twisted. I won't even use the term parking the bus, but United's got a lot of men behind the ball. Yeah. So it's like anything. You look at what Liverpool want to do. Liverpool want space. So then you nullify the space. Yeah. So, exactly. So if you've got United's players and Liverpool players behind the ball, the only thing you can do is shoot from far. So
yeah, 'cause I think that was Liverpool's 12th shot of the second half, but only their second on target.
Yeah.
Mental. But yeah, there's a question here from Memes for you, and they have asked, who do you think is the best player in the Premier League this season?
The best player in the Premier League this season? I'd say Sterling is. Yeah, man. Is up
I don't even think there's a. We take the free kick. Come on,
Ref. It's not a free kick. I would throw Hazard and
Hazard. I was just about to say the other one. Do you know what Hazard is? When the team that you support are playing against Chelsea, he's one of the players that you fear. Just whenever he's on the ball, he's so intelligent.
Number 8. His acceleration.
So intelligent. Naby Keita's coming off for Shaqiri.
Interesting.
Thoughts on that, Bayo?
Go on. That's good. He's been quiet in the second half.
Yeah, he has.
So Sterling and Hazard are two that probably stand out for me. Any other names that we'd
I think with Hazard, I think Hazard is comfortably the most talented player in the Premier League. I think he's a league above everyone else. Yeah, just in terms of ability. You look at that league and you don't really see anybody else, competing for the Ballon d'Or potentially.
Yeah,
I would say Hazard is one who can have a season where he just kills it and he's in.
Yeah. Well, like Salah did last year.
But this is the best, though. I agree, but this is the best Hazard will ever be because of his age. Yeah. He's 27, he's unlikely to make a big step up at 28 or 29. That doesn't tend to happen. Raheem Sterling's still 24.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling's still got time to improve. It's outrageous. And also, I just feel like everybody should want Raheem Sterling to succeed, really. And we actually made our FD team of 2018 the other day. I wrote the script on it, and I said Raheem Sterling would be in the best 11 of 2018. I really think he's been that good. I think he's an unbelievable player.
Again,
another shot from distance. We're seeing so many Fabinho this time.
It looked spectacular, but it was straight down his street.
Yeah, I'm not even getting gassed. I've
been going over.
I think 30 yards out.
He hits it well, but it's straight
at De Gea. You're against one of the best keepers. It's a strange tactic Liverpool are going with. All the possession they've had, it's just another shot. Are there any other players we put in the Hazard Sterling?
I mean, De Bruyne as well, but not this season.
This season.
Actually, Aguero, when he's played this season, has been outrageous. I mean, he's added since Pep's arrived, he's been more creative than he'd ever been in the past, as well as still being an elite goal scorer. I think he's got something like 8 goals, 4 assists in about 800 minutes, which is unbelievable. And
go on, United on the attack here.
Oh, God above. Rode that challenge so nicely.
Lingard, and it's got an instant price boost on your screen right now. Shaqiri has just come on to score in 90 minutes. That's gone from 12-1 to 14-1. Shaqiri to score in 90 minutes. That is a price boost with Sky Bet. Full terms and conditions apply. Not really a real chance for United, but a slight worry for Liverpool that they are
just be able to hit us on the counter. That's the game, innit? That's the game. We've got all the possession. We're going to be probing because we want to win. And then if you've got Rashford, Lingard and Lukaku, you know, they can cause you problems. One thing with being a big guy, and I watch Lukaku, I just don't think he uses, and he looks like he's bigger now, you know. Yeah. I just don't think he uses... Come on, brother.
Chance Liverpool.
Done.
See you later.
Oh!
Come on,
big
relax.
chance!
My guy, Shaqiri. He's yes. Stand there with you. Yes.
What's the goal?
Yes.
2-1.
Yes.
Big celebration.
Yes.
Liverpool take
I'll do the
lead.
celebration with you. Yes. Don't get mad at it. Don't get mad at it.
Big goal for Liverpool. Bayo, talk us through this.
See, this is the way it is. My guy, my first guy, he did the step over and said, see ya. Then he put it, waited. Watch.
Here he is.
Out. Gives it to Robinson out here. He passed it to my guy. We all know who my guy is, Mane. Watch him. Whoever that defender is, watch this.
I think it might be
Hello.
Herrera.
Hello. Bye-bye.
Oh,
step. Then Klein tried to take it. Watch Klein. Give it to me.
Good finish. Takes a deflection.
We take that.
But you won't mind.
No, we'll take that all day.
3 minutes after coming on as a sub.
Hey, I told you.
The back of the net. 72 minutes gone. 2-1 Liverpool. Pete Dorman, thoughts?
That is about the 10th time Ander Herrera's got absolutely rinsed this game. Like, he's just diving into tackles, getting left
big
for dead.
deflection off Ashley Young.
I feel a bit for him.
Yeah. No, don't feel for nobody.
He's done it all game.
Big deflection off Young, which is taking it over De Gea.
There are like 2 deflections that end up with it breaking to him perfectly in the box. Then it takes the perfect deflection to go in off the bar.
I told you, that's rough. Bring him on. Shaqiri, my guy.
Yeah, but he's just swung a foot at that.
And that was the price boost that we saw. 14-1 he was. Great price boost from Sky Bet to score in 90 minutes. It only took him 3 minutes since coming on to score the goal. It is the goal that has given Liverpool the lead. 2-1 at Anfield against Man United. Man United now have to attack. They're on the attack with Rashford.
Just let it run.
Alisson comes out and picks the ball up. Pete, we've got to go to you in Social Corner. I imagine there's a lot of very happy Liverpool fans. What are they saying in the stream?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Pete, don't be mad at
it. No one cares, really.
Don't hate.
What are they saying in the stream?
Well, there's actually quite a few questions for Pat.
Why?
A few Arsenal questions.
Why?
But yeah, again, a lot of people saying that it's been coming. This goal has been coming. Liverpool have been knocking on the door. And to be fair, they've had a lot of possession,
Do you know what?
For me
I wouldn't say that we was knocking on the door per se. I don't. There was not. We had the possession, and of course you would like to think we was, but we weren't making him work. Here we go. Now we open it. Now we open
him on the attack. Oh! Shaqiri, 4 goals in his last 10 games. He's been a good signing, isn't he?
I think one of the best. I personally think one of the best signings in the Premier League for the money.
And value,
value for money. This is what I'm saying.
Was it
13.5 million.
Barkley was 16.
Incredible, yeah.
Players in the champ have gone for more than that.
Just looking at scenes now, Man United bench, Pogba.
Pogba will come on now.
He won't even want to come on now.
Yeah, he won't want to come on now. He won't want to come on.
He'll stay in his coat.
But now...
Yeah, the hammering it down at Anfield. Man United on the attack. Lukaku, tight angle. Back to Lingard. He's going to have a
Why?
It is wide. It is wide. The rain is hammering down at Anfield. Man United.
That's just hugely indicative.
Desperation from Man United. Go on.
So as I was coming in today, I see the talk with, I think Gary Neville and Roy Keane mentioned about
Jesse Lingard's clothing range.
Do you think there's anything wrong with that?
I don't really know what it is. What is it?
Jesse Lingard had a clothing range that was released this week, and Roy Keane and Gary Neville made the point that they said it's fine to have other things going on outside of football, but they thought it was a mistake for him to launch his clothing range the week of Liverpool, which is, in their opinion, one of the biggest games
the week before Christmas, which is probably why he launched it now. Like, I mean... who cares? That's just,
in what way they're too late?
I'm sorry, but this just shows that, like, a lot of the people, like, both in journalism and in punditry, who you've got talking about football, their ideas about football are based on 15, 20 years ago. There's absolutely no reason that he shouldn't do that. Like, do they think it means he's not going to try in the derby? Like, from my point of view, Lingard's been comfortably Man United's best player in this game. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But there's this idea.
He scored the goal as well.
Yeah, he's taking his top off to have his shirt off.
Good point.
A lot of these ex-pros, they talk about football as genuinely as if it's going to war. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, obviously it's competitive and stuff, but like, it's ridiculous to suggest that like. a guy in his mid-20s should not have other career things going on, or should he can't take his career seriously whilst at the same time having other business enterprises.
Also, given how short
Roy Keane was quite strong.
I just saw I didn't see. I just saw the clip and it made me think. And I'm the same. Listen. I'm a competitor on the pitch, and because I've got so many things outside...
Because you've got a lot going on outside of football as well.
It don't mean that I don't want to go win, I don't want to score, any of that. So, and whatever the weather, this would have been pre-planned time ago because of Christmas. So this was the plan. He would have still trained. He didn't miss no trainings. He didn't say, oh, Gaffer, look, I need 3 days off because I'm launching. He trained like every day. And, so for me, it's how can you not have other things outside football? That's just like saying, oh, he finished training and he played PlayStation. You've got to be able to say, all right, cool. In today's modern age, there is different distractions, which they didn't do. So it's like some people play PlayStation. Easy's, well, you know what, I want to have a clothing line.
It's more productive than
he's also trying to future-proof his career.
Exactly.
In that a footballer's professional career is so short, given how long you actually live for.
The age of retirement.
It's like 15 years, 20 years max.
Yeah.
So like you've got another however many years after that you need to...
I also think as well as a footballer...
Yeah, he doesn't have a family or kids yet, does he, Jesse Lingard? But he probably will want that at some point. And it's fair enough for him to think, you know what, maybe I will need to pay for a school or pay for holidays for my kids or whatever. Like, I think that it's just sensible. You have to diversify your interests at this point. And there's this idea of like, oh, footballers, well, you get paid enough, so why do you need to do this other stuff?
Do you know what?
Why shouldn't he enjoy it as well?
Let off.
You know what, Sid? Herrera.
Oh my God.
I also think as well.
Well, we look like we're just nonch, man.
Footballers, you have to maximise it whilst you're a footballer and you're still beside, because as soon as you retire, your product or your profile, however you want to call it, is going to go down.
You're no longer, not saying you're no longer relevant, but when you're in the public eye, that's when you maximise your investment.
Potential,
Simple. But at the same time, he said something about there's no leaders because they wouldn't have allowed it. And it makes me laugh. I'm like, say if Jesse Lingard
Substitution for Man United, sorry, by Herrera coming off and Anthony Martial coming on.
He should have been taken off 20 minutes ago.
Don't interrupt you again.
Don't interrupt me.
Herrera off, Anthony Martial.
We said he would come on.
He had to come on, didn't he?
Surely it should have happened. Well, Herrera should have come off 20 minutes ago, at least. I think Herrera's been really poor today.
Martial on for Herrera. Interesting to see what impact he has. Shaqiri, 144 seconds after coming on. He was the price boost with Sky Bet as well, scoring straight away, 144 seconds after coming on. So he's made instant impact. And Liverpool have a free kick. Martin Atkinson just standing over the ball. Rain is lashing down. It is 2-1
United
Liverpool.
now playing a 4-2-3-1.
That quick ball has been on all day to Salah. No,
but he's done nothing with it.
It has been a quiet game for Salah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like they got a bit lucky on that.
And I feel like...
God.
I feel like it's a problem when Salah plays down the middle when the team sits deep because he's got no space to run into. So literally he's playing like a conventional number 9 with his back to goal. And not saying he's not strong because you've seen him pin centre-halves and then whip it in with his left foot.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oi. I mean, nervous out there.
Come on, Storm.
What
have you got?
Feel like
Liverpool
are playing within themselves.
Yeah,
they're not really... it looks like they're worried about getting hit.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaqiri! Oh, yeah!
My guy! My guy!
3-1 Liverpool!
Yes! My guy!
Big goal!
But listen.
Adebayo Akinfenwa.
I am so confident now. It's mad. I was never not confident. I'm just saying... That's them substitutions there. That's them substitutions there.
When you say you're never not confident, we're filming all of this.
Oh, yeah? Oh, snap.
No one's going back there.
No, I said I was a little nervous. That's what I said.
Talk us through the goal, Bayo.
Yeah, look, that almost come off to Salah.
It's another deflection, another big deflection.
It's better to be lucky than good. It's better to be lucky than good.
Another big deflection.
Took it away from him.
That's going straight at De Gea.
Straight into the camera.
But then Salah's going to tap that in, though.
Shaqiri,
he could have actually
with his left foot,
takes
a wicked deflection off by past De Gea. And you think De Gea probably would have had that covered had it not taken that deflection. Liverpool fans won't mind. It's a big goal, 3-1 lead. And Man United have got a lot to do now. Let's go to Pete Dorman in social corner. Pete, 10 minutes to go. Looks like Liverpool are going to wrap it up, all 3 points.
To be fair, it would take a miracle for United to get anything out of this game. And I think it now means United, if it stays as it is, are 19 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 8 behind
19
Arsenal.
points.
19 points behind.
19 points before
Behind.
Christmas.
Yeah.
This is going to bring you to, I think 0 goal difference as well.
Yeah,
At
well,
this
we're
stage
currently
of the
at 0
season.
goal difference.
That is horrible.
But again, 19 points
That's like
behind Liverpool.
that would have been unthinkable a few years ago. Even under Van Gaal, that would have been unthinkable.
This time, yeah, 6 points above Liverpool. This time last year, Man United
what it
were
was, yeah?
at the end of the season. 6 points, Man United finished above Liverpool. We're now talking about 19 points. But even before the game, this was the most points Liverpool have been ahead of Man United going into a meeting since 1990.
But where Martial
So the turnaround in the two teams' form this season has been absolutely staggering.
19 points. That's
Oh my God.
That's over a 6-game swing difference.
And Salah and Liverpool on the attack again.
Yeah, Liverpool,
Salah, I'm
Liverpool
telling
could
you,
not
like-
turn up to their next 6 games and still be
still be ahead of United.
above United.
Yeah.
I don't want to laugh.
That's
I
only
don't want to
assumption
laugh
United
till the
win,
game's
no?
done.
Yeah, exactly, that's true.
Yeah, you presume they might not win, yeah.
That's a great point.
But yeah, I mean,
Look where people are in this game as well, like Martial coming out of the left-back spot, Fellaini trying
I'll
to...
get your hat-trick, brother.
Like
Go
you
get your
said,
hat-trick.
you said Fellaini's
I
not
mean-
a step-over man, but, I mean, he has been trying to do that for some reason.
but again,
Oh, Jesus.
Liverpool have been going kind of almost down the channels and cutting it back to the edge of the box where they've had so much space. Shaqiri there had so much space to take that shot.
Yeah.
Again, United just seem out of sorts, certainly. I think they obviously brought on players like Fellaini to try and command a bit more control in the centre of the pitch, but it just hasn't worked. And again, they just look like they don't know where to be. Any of the United players don't know what system they're meant to be playing.
Substitution for Liverpool, Jordan Henderson coming on for Sadio Mane. Thoughts on Sadio Mane staying? I know you're a big fan, Bayo.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. He did well, got the first goal, was a constant threat. He is a constant threat.
Yeah.
I think that, not that he don't get the recognition, but I think we struggle when he doesn't play.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly think we do.
Yeah.
So, nah, man, I salute him.
Had a good game.
Yeah.
Everyone at Anfield is standing up. The Copper standing up, applauding him off the pitch, walking very slowly. Bayo is standing up, applauding his guy, Sadio Mane.
My guy, first goal scorer.
Big
said it.
hug from Jurgen Klopp.
My guy,
Sadio
man.
Mane's had a great game.
He did have one of the all-time comedy games in midweek, though, against Napoli, like where he had, I swear, about 10 big chances and managed not to score a single one of them. Like, I really enjoyed that. But he always just gets them. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, but it's a sign of a good forward as well.
No, definitely. I mean, we used
Chance
to
for
say the same
Fellaini.
thing about
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
nah.
Do we analyse that? Where do we start with that strike?
Let that live.
It barely went out for a goal kick. It nearly went out for a throw-in.
Fellaini kicking for touch there.
This is actually great play as well, too.
It was great.
It's so
It was
good.
really good, man. For me, I rate him as one of the all-time greats at bringing down the ball
On his chest, he's the best in the world. Like, he's got 99 chest control.
About best in the world. You see me bring on my chest? Why am with you? No.
Substitution for Man United, Jesse Lingard coming off.
So, yeah.
But this is where...
And it's not
see?
Paul Pogba coming on.
I said he ain't coming on.
It's one matter. We've just seen a shot of Paul Pogba. Doesn't look happy. Jose Mourinho hugging Jesse Lingard, but he brings off Jesse Lingard for one matter. Pete, what's your thoughts on that sub?
I mean, obviously there's beef between Pogba and Mourinho, but Mata, to be fair to him, was the difference in the Juventus game. He sparked that with that free kick. That
Mata's been playing well,
Again,
hasn't
like,
And you said yourself, no control in the game.
so again,
like,
he also adds creativity.
Technically so good, like
Yeah, he adds
Mata.
creativity in that midfield, and I think, I don't know, perhaps Mourinho's thinking that Pogba will come on and kind of be like a sulky kid and be like, you didn't play me until the 80th minute.
Do you know what matters? One of the best in the game, when a ball's coming across, striking a ball first time.
Yeah.
Did you see his goal against Fulham, which looks like quite a simple strike, ball cut across. But if you look at the pace at which that comes to him, a lot of players would need 1, 2 or 3 touches. He's so technical, he's so
He's
good
the
with his
one
feet,
that
isn't
I
he?
would play. I think he's creative. I think he picks a pass. He maybe won't be able to get around the pitch like they say,
as well as he used to,
but but good players know how to slow things down and quick it.
Also, he also did score that absolute banger of an overhead in 2015.
He did, didn't he?
Let's leave that back in 2015. Let's leave that in 2015, brother.
So we're looking at the bench now. A lot of shots of the bench we're seeing. Jose Mourinho sat in the seats in front of Paul Pogba.
I love it when he looks sad.
Paul Pogba.
So great.
And it's interesting there is that there's nothing being said between Carrick and Mourinho. It's almost like, well, They've made their subs now. This is it. What can you do? What can you do at this stage?
It gets to a point. One thing
85 minutes gone, 3-1 Liverpool. It has been all Liverpool. They deserve their lead.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's one thing I think sometimes there's just nothing you can do. I think some people just be like, they want to see him yelling, they want to see him shouting. There's just sometimes you're like, literally, and we're better than United. We've showed it that we're better than United. And whatever it is, you know, individually players, collectively, you know, our mentality's better. We're playing for one another, you know.
I literally couldn't tell you what United's system has been today.
Another price piece on your screen right now. If you fancy Liverpool to get a fourth, Liverpool 4-1, correct score was 9-2. That's now 11-2. You've got about 6 minutes till the end of the match there. That is a price boost with Sky Bet. Must be 18 plus. 11-2.
So what? So Shaqiri's come on and scored 2 goals, essentially.
Yeah. Well, ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll both be credited to Shaqiri because they're going both wicked deflections.
It leads quite nicely on to this question from Jake, who's asked, who is the most underrated player in the league?
Say that again, sorry?
Who's the most underrated player in the league?
Oh. I mean, an obvious one that I've been saying for years is Heung-min Son. I think he's such a good player. He's got everything to his game, and I think I always look at Heung-min Son as so underrated. I don't know what more he has to do.
I would love him at Liverpool.
Credit he deserves. And also, it's worth pointing out, Heung-min Son's had a World Cup and the Asian Games. The amount of game time that he's played this season is incredible. And he's been one of our most informed players this season. So he's one that I'd put up there as sort of underrated.
So is Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura's had a pretty decent
Lucas Moura's had a good season.
And they're both competing for... Again, I think you play one or the other. You play both.
Yeah, but I think in answer to your question about underrated, I think Heung-min Son is more underrated than Lucas Moura is.
I think James Milner always gets thrown into this category.
I think he gets...
But I guess so much so that he's now become rated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually underrated so much that now
you could put
he's on everyone's radar.
You could say the same thing about Fernandinho. Though then again, I still think Fernandinho is underrated.
Also,
like, Fernandinho has been so good.
In terms of like,
and he's also so important for City as well, isn't he? In that the role he plays.
In terms of output numbers and like their place in a squad, Shaqiri has to be up there as well. In recent months anyway. You know, he's a bit part player. He's a rotation player.
Ryan Fraser this season too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people have been talking about Callum Wilson, and a lot of people talking about David Brooks, and I love both of them. I think they're both great. Yeah. But Ryan Fraser's been sensational. Really, really good.
Oh, Callum Wilson, though, man, he scores against everybody. You know what I'm saying? I rate him highly.
Yeah, because you didn't know if he'd come back after... was it a knee injury a couple of years ago? Or ankle?
2.
We've got loads of people joining the stream right now, so keep your comments in, Pete. We're going to come to you very shortly. Interestingly, United have now conceded 29 Premier League goals. The whole of last season, they conceded 28. And we're in December already. So, there's so many stats we've read out. Just so many dreadful stats for Man United in 6th place. It's not been their day at all. It's been all Liverpool, and they're well deserving of their 3-1 lead. Pete, a lot of people joining the stream. Let's take some of their comments.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people asking what does this mean now for Mourinho and his job? Is it...
Chance to Salah. Henderson. It's over the bar.
Is Mourinho past the point of no return now?
Well, United?
Yeah.
Well, we kind of thought that a month ago, didn't we? I mean, it's still there. It feels like they're now just like waiting for next summer so they don't have to pay him out.
Do you think he'll get the January transfer window, Mourinho? Do you think they'll really back him? Because he is going to, in his mind, he will definitely go to the board and say, I need money.
I think whatever happens in January will be very indicative of what's planned in summer.
Right, yeah.
If they give him a budget, perhaps he has a bit more time.
So you think if they don't give him the budget, it's indicative of what they feel about Mourinho long term?
Yeah, because again, why would you give him another 75, 80 mil to buy a player that won't necessarily suit a new manager's system?
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
So, again, I've never been a huge fan of big January transfers.
Oh, lovely play from United there.
That would have been a great goal.
That would have been a great
Lovely little play, yeah. One matter with the shot. It's deflected wide.
You can always tell your team's winning when you're at the point where you can say charitable things.
Exactly.
So, like, now you're like, that would have been a great goal. It's like, because you're just not worried anymore.
Try that, man.
He gets one more and suddenly it's a different story. Yeah.
And the worst thing is, you know, when you're saying you don't understand United's game plan, and I'm a player in it, and I play in the lower leagues, so this is not me going on anything different. But as a striker, I wouldn't go up against Verge. I'd pull on Lovren, and I'm just because he's the weaker of the two, and I'd be like, hit me. So, you know, and then try and use me as a base to, and I'm not saying, don't even get this twisted trying to say I'm better. I'm just, it's a base to work. And you brought on Fellaini, and yet still, it hasn't like it's gone back to front, so it's still, they're still in between.
As a centre forward, you isolate a weak link. Thing is, you could take your pick of United's starting 5 defenders.
And that's coming from a United fan, yeah.
But also, you've got to, like, when you say use you as a base, you obviously mean, like, get people around you, right?
Yes.
To play off the second ball. And it feels like United haven't done that all game. It feels like I've seen Rashford in his own half covering half the time.
Well, I mean, when it was 2-1, United broke with Lingard. And there was one... Lukaku was near him. Rashford was about 35 yards away and everybody else was in their own half. And
yeah.
All of Liverpool's players, like 6 Liverpool players, got back before any United midfielders joined the attack. And they started at the same place.
Yeah.
So again, how are you expecting to score when you have 3 forwards and then you're just getting boxed out, you're getting outnumbered by tracking back defenders?
And if a player's like out of position once or twice, or if he's 5 yards out of position, I feel like that's his fault. But if he's out of position all the time, and he's never in the right place, I feel like that's a coach's fault. You know?
Oh, no, I agree with you. I totally agree. And for me, this is how I look at it. And I'm not saying Lukaku's strong.
Salah! Oh!
Boy.
Chance from outside the box. Hits the top of the net.
But you would just then go with pure pace. So you would then go
Sure.
Martial, Rashford, and whoever the 3 quickest, and be like, they're going to have most of the ball. So if inevitable, we'll play like Leicester, we'll get up the pitch and then get everybody. I just don't know if United's got the...
Start Martial and play him into the channel.
I was amazed Martial wasn't playing in this game. Amazed Martial.
And put Pogba in the midfield so someone can actually hit him while putting in a defensive shift.
Yeah. Instead of playing a long ball centrally to Lukaku, play a long ball or play a medium ball to Pogba in the middle, who can then go wide into the channels for your pacey players to run onto.
We're into the last
and to
minute.
be for Mourinho,
3 minutes
we haven't won
of added
anything.
time.
So it's always easier to say what we need to say. It's funny because it's always easier to talk when you're watching football.
36 attempts at goal Liverpool have had this game.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And they're
This
on
has
the
got to be
attack
like one of
again.
the most.
It's all Liverpool. We saw the possession stats
How many
at
on
half-time
target?
stage.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, a lot of
to be fair,
No, I agree. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Like last
There
season,
is the full-time whistle.
them down. We
Big,
did shut
big
them down.
win for Liverpool, which sees them go back to the top of the Premier League table. These are the scenes. Shaqiri came on as a substitute, scored 2 goals, both with wicked deflections, but they both will be awarded to him because they were going goal with these Jurgen Klopp. Very happy. Liverpool still the only team in the Premier League, the only team in the top 4 leagues, incidentally, that are unbeaten all season. Jurgen Klopp looks absolutely delighted. Headline news from Man United, Paul Pogba not playing again, didn't play a single minute.
That's a statement there.
It's a big statement, Bayo, isn't it?
That's a statement. I mean, if I'm Pogba, not that you don't come back from that, but it's a statement. And you're like, and as a manager, you need it to work for you. You need to either, one, have a good performance and lose with a stupid goal or win the game. Mourinho's had nothing. So, and I know Mourinho will turn around and say, Pogba hasn't had a great game, you don't put in the... But you need it to win. I mean, you need it to work for you.
And we saw the shots of Pogba on the bench as well. He did not look happy, did he?
Yeah, he's
There's
not going to be
that.
happy. He's not. Every player wants to play, and especially when, you know, he's a World Cup winner. He's one of the most expensive players of all time, or whatever it is. He wants to win. He's a winner, so that's going to hurt him.
And Jurgen Klopp doing what he tends to do after big games. There's Lovren Gene up the crowd, hugging every single one of those Liverpool players. There he is. There. Absolutely delighted, Pete. Thoughts from a United perspective.
You can see.
We looked at the stats. It was all Liverpool, really, wasn't it? You're right in saying they didn't have many clear-cut chances from those shots on target. But look at what it means to Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, I mean,
look at that.
It's kind of like 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. You expected Liverpool to enjoy the lion's share of possession at home to United. You expect them to have a decent amount of chances. They had a lot of shots, not that many on target, not that many clear-cut chances. Yeah. You could almost say they got a bit lucky with a couple of goals, but again, United didn't show anything really going forward, which is the problem when you don't have a creative midfielder to progress that ball. And again, why he's left Pogba on the bench, why he's benched him in the first place, and then continued to leave him on the bench. Again, I don't know.
I mean, it's always the Pogba thing's a story, but for me, the Martial exclusion was equally as big. Like the form that he's in, we spoke about his form of the last 6-7 games, his goal contribution. There's a lot of strange decisions, weren't there?
Are you happy? So let me ask you a question as a United fan. Are you happy with Pogba this season?
I think he's to an extent. Yeah, I think he's got a lot more in him, but he's been United's best central midfielder by far. I think potentially a manager who is better at managing people, like a better man manager, would get a lot more out of him. But I still think perhaps it's a scathing indictment of United's central midfield options. But yeah, I think he's been our most proactive player. He's been our most positive player in that central midfield area.
So I'm just going to, again, this is devil's advocate. So I mean, you've heard Lampard talk about Mourinho. Yeah. Says, you know, man management, this, that and the other. So do you only say that this is Mourinho's fault in this instance? Or will you also understand that, well, there must be something that Pogba's not doing because there's other players that have talked about Mourinho in a way that he was able to get the best out of them. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, I think it is. I think most of it falls on Mourinho because he, as a manager, only goes for tough love. You know, and not every player responds well to that. Mm-hmm. You know, it happened. He did it well with Hazard at Chelsea, and then that next season he did the same thing, and Hazard was nowhere in the same level. Pogba, I think, you can tell by the way he is, you kind of need to fluff his ego a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think the fact that Mourinho was so vocally negative to the press does not bode well with the likes of Martial and Pogba. I think Pep and Klopp would be so positive, regardless of his performance, they would be so positive in the press. They would sing his praises, and then behind closed doors, they'd be like, right, this is what's wrong, this is what you did wrong, this is how we improve, as opposed to just dropping him outright and just being like, oh, he's not good enough, or he's not done this right, he's not playing my system, it's my team. There's a lot better ways you can manage Pogba to make him the player he is. You saw, like, you don't just drop off that much from the World Cup to this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent. And
Mourinho's not getting the best out of that.
The fact he was able to show it in the summer, and he's only shown it in moments this campaign, I think shows more about Mourinho than Pogba.
Bayo, can I ask you why you asked that question? Because you've mentioned earlier that you are a fan of Pogba, but do you feel like his season hasn't been the greatest?
No. Not being funny. I mean, of course, I'm a Liverpool supporter, so I like Pogba as a person. I like him as a footballer. Yeah. I just haven't really watched him. It's better for United because you would watch him more. Yeah. And I'm only just literally saying from both. You know, I'm a player, so of course I'm always going to favour a player's opinion because at the moment I'm still currently a player and I've never been a manager. So I always ask the question just to have your view. Is it just a player or is it just a manager? And the reason why I was going that as well, because I think, of course, it's like anything. If you're winning, all these decisions are correct, no matter what it is. You know, Fergie would drop Van Nistelrooy and then put somebody else in, and Fergie would drop Beckham. But because it was all working, it was, well, it's tough love. It's my way. So when it don't work, that's why I was saying that everything needs to work for him for it to turn around and say, oh yeah, this is my team. You either basically my way or bounce. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like Van Gaal changing keeper in the World Cup for the shootout, and they won. Holland won. Yeah. If they lost, what are you doing?
But so I favour the player on that. Not saying I'd side the player in the sense where I do feel that, like anything, you can't change 22 players. So it's always the manager. So a manager needs to be able to tap into what. So if I need to stroke your ego, I need to stroke your ego. If I need tough love, it's tough love. And that, as a manager, needs to evolve and be like, okay, well, cool. Whereas I think with Mourinho, he's won everything. Yeah. So he's like, listen, I've won anything, so I don't need to evolve, adapt my game because my stats speak for myself.
And it's interesting that Jose Mourinho mentions that all the time, doesn't he? He always talks about trophies. He talks about trophies in the interview that we spoke about earlier. He talks about in the Tubes interview that Liverpool haven't won a trophy. He talks about records, the 3 remark when he goes back to Chelsea.
But he waited 3 games to do that. That was the third game, third week of the Premier League after Arsene Wenger had left. Like, Arsene Wenger had won more trophies from more Premier Leagues than him, and he waited 3 games in the new league to use that stat that he was the most. He won the most Premier League manager, or won the most Premier League.
Interestingly, Jose Mourinho, we're going to pick up what he's been saying in his post-match interview. He's now 2-1 with Sky Bet to be the next Premier League manager. His favourite to be the next Premier League manager to be sacked. What do you make of that, Pato?
I mean, I feel like that's the kind of the headline grabber that you always put up there. But he's definitely among the leading candidates. Plus, I think this season's a bit weird because a lot of the teams facing relegation
have new managers,
or they have new managers, or they have managers who kind of have the right to take them down. Yeah. Like if Sean Dyche took Burnley down, I think Burnley fans would kind of be like, Sean Dyche is the guy who brought us here.
Yeah, he brought you
Sean
up,
Dyche,
you down.
If we go down with him, that's fine. And same for Wagner at Huddersfield. So I think it's a bit of a special case there, but I'm really underwhelmed by the job he's done. I think 2 out of the 3 seasons he's been at Man United, they've been bad. And previously, when he's been sacked in his 3rd year, that's come after a spectacularly good second year. And they did not have a spectacularly good second year. They didn't win the league, and they, weren't that great overall. So I actually think they've got worse every year.
I thought last year, bar City, who were just miles above. They finished 2nd. What else did they win? They won the Europa League. Is that correct?
Last season, no.
2 seasons
Oh,
ago.
that's 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago, Man United won the Europa League, they won the League Cup and the Community Shield.
Where did they finish last season?
Second.
Man United finished 2nd last season.
And that's it? They didn't win anything else?
No.
Didn't win a trophy, no.
I'm with GP.
And also, I think even as a United fan, United were lucky to finish 2nd. They weren't the second best team in the league.
I think Liverpool and Spurs are better than United last season.
I think Spurs definitely were better than United.
Yeah, so Jose Mourinho's favourite. Claude Puel incidentally his second favourite and Roy Hodgson 3rd.
Who are you going to bring in? So you sack him, who are you going to bring in? For me, if you're going to...
Zidane.
There's no... okay. That shut me up.
Zidane is the favourite with the bookmakers. 5-4 Zidane to be the next man to replace Jose Mourinho. Now, whether they can get Zidane and whether Zidane wants the job is another reason.
I think Jardim was unemployed until a couple of weeks ago as well. He did a great job in Monaco. And you don't necessarily have to get somebody in forever. You could get them until next summer. There are actually a load of good managers out of work at the moment. Hasenhüttl was unemployed. And Bayern and Arsenal looked at him in the past. Jardim is obviously a fantastic manager and he's been touted to go to the Juve after Allegri leaves. There are plenty of good managers around they could at least take a punt on.
16-1 Jardim is.
But don't you think this is what I'm saying is, I get that, but you've got to... So where does it stop? You've got to be like, listen, this is going to be us, like, say, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Because if not, it is literally going to be, all right, bring in a manager for January to the end of the season and then see how it goes. All right, then we'll bring in... And then it's just... Then you're losing the United identity because it's...
And I think
this season
so
as well,
many changes United.
You might just write it off this season as well because you're like, we're not going to make the top 4.
Yeah.
We're not really going to do much in the Champions League. The squad needs to be overhauled. So maybe, you do just suffer through to the summer with Mourinho.
But I think like
and the director of football, maybe.
The whole, not necessarily short-term plan, but shorter-term plan is just indicative of the current state of football. It's quite rare a manager at a top club stays more than 4 seasons now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I don't think Pep will be at City in the next couple of seasons. I think he'll move on. And
you think just because he wants a new challenge and he tends to do that
he's also burned out at quite a lot of clubs, because he's so invested in them. I think the moment they win the Champions League, if they win the Champions League in the next 2 seasons, he'll go. You might get 3 more seasons out of him if he doesn't win the Champions League.
Interesting.
But I think Zidane plus a world-class centre-back would solve a lot of United's on-the-pitch problems. Because Zidane, while he isn't fantastic technically or tactically,
not wild, but
if you have a world-class centre-back that can kind of shore up that defence like Van Dijk has done at Liverpool, and he can manage Pogba, Rashford, Martial, get the best of them. Even we've barely talked about Sanchez sitting on 350k a week, and 3 seasons ago, 3 or 4 seasons ago, he scored 20 goals and got 14 assists or something in the league.
Yeah.
They have the players. Maybe bar a world-class centre-back, just get the most out of them. I think Zidane, certainly for 2 seasons, would be the best option of the ones currently available.
I know you said Hazard is the only player that can win the Ballon d'Or. Van Dijk's coming to Liverpool, and I'm not saying just him, but he has to start getting that recognition in the sense of one of the best centre-halves in the world.
And I think in the Premier League this season, Liverpool, conceding only 7 goals.
The thing is, I think he already has the recognition as one of the best centre-halves in the world. But in terms of winning Ballon d'Ors and stuff, it's just the weight of people's opinion always goes to goal scorers.
Yeah.
No, and I agree.
It's a lot easier for a goal scorer to win a Ballon d'Or, isn't it, than it is for players in other positions.
No, I agree. It's just because he came into, like you said a world-class centre-half plus Zidane. He has just literally... not by himself, but has shored up Liverpool winning 4-3.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, you look at Liverpool. You look at Liverpool's defence 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was equally as shambolic as United.
It was the weakness, wasn't it? Liverpool have always had great goal scorers.
Yeah.
Great goal scorers for years. The issue has been at the back. And what's amazing for Liverpool today is that they've got injuries at the back. And they weren't. United still didn't test them, which goes to show what you were saying earlier, the strength and depth that Liverpool seem to have now. There's not a great deal more they need to... I mean, you said maybe another attacking player.
Yeah, but
from Liverpool's perspective, there's not a great deal more they need to change.
You've got Shaqiri and you've got Origi and you've got Sturridge. What striker wants to come to a club that has 6 forwards, 3 of which are Mane, Salah and Firmino, knowing that you're going to be, at best, a rotation option, and Shaqiri scores 2 goals. You've got 4 goals now in his last 6
appearances. When I say a striker, I'd say attacking. It's just like with what Man City's got. Pep seems to keep all of them happy.
Yeah, again...
and that's where it is. And that's where the job where you have to salute the managers to try and keep them saying, well, look, you may not play week in, week out. I mean, that's, again, why number 9 is not going to go to Tottenham because he's never going to dethrone Kane. You know what I'm saying? So it's being able to bring in the right character of person, that the balance of quality and the mental...
I think a modern team is quite rare. Like, United's 99 team that had 4 out-and-out strikers was ridiculous. Now, football's a lot more individualistic. It's a lot more like my career.
Yeah.
It's harder to get that depth, particularly in attacking roles, because you're not going to get in... As a striker, you want to run of games, to get on form, to feel comfortable in front of goal and get a run of goals. I think it's quite rare to have that depth, to have people who are happy to sit on the bench.
Football is structured as well. It was more 4-4-2, so you had 4 strikers, 2 into it, whereas now it's 3 and then a midfielder stroke winger, and it can all rotate. Systems have changed, so players and style of footballs have changed now, sort of thing. So, but I was in the age where we always had 4 strikers, 2 big uns, 2 runners, and
one that complements the other, tall guy, small guy.
Now you've got 3 that are all smaller and. It's Kane's are probably only big-ish and Lukaku up there, but it's more smaller and interchanging football and it's pass and move and it's like just rotation is the word sort of thing. So you're right, and it's the way football has changed, evolved and developed over the years.
And also, do you find as well that because the game has developed so much that teams play different systems? Like I look at Spurs, City, Liverpool, they play different systems based on who they're playing, whereas many years ago it was always 4-4-2, 2 men up top. It was the same all the time, whereas now, you look at, we spoke about Man United, how they've changed their back 4, their back 3 against big clubs. Look at Spurs, have played with a diamond, they've played with 2 at the back, 3 at the back, depending on who they're playing. So it's got so technical now, and Pep's done that brilliantly, is that the way a lot of the time is dependent on who they're playing.
Of course, as you get up, as you get higher in the leagues, it's if you've got the ball, if you monopolise the ball, it don't matter what the other people do because you've got the ball. So that's where it's getting numbers where you can monopolise the ball. Whereas back in the day, it was, I wouldn't say long ball is a bit more direct. It's back to front, and that's a 50-50 ball. And this is what I was saying with Lukaku. I was like, when you go back to front, it's 50-50. Whereas if you're doing a 5-yard, 10-yard ball, it's more 90% that you're going to get it. So you're going to monopolise the ball. So you can have overlaps, you can have rotations. Whereas it's a gamble if you play and then you want Fellaini to flick it and because he may not win it. So you're out of position. And that's where football's changed now. And you realise that, well, it doesn't matter where we can move if we've got the ball. We can't move if we don't have the ball. So you'll see more teams, the higher you go up, monopolise the ball. So have 70% possession because they can then have overlaps and players in positions and then have... You see this last goal now, because they've got the ball and had the ball, it falls. And when it falls in the box, like anything, defenders always mark space. So they'll always drop, and then you see players coming onto it, and that's how I believe football's developed.
Bayo, do you want to have a look at the league table?
Show me!
Here is the league table, which I'm sure many Liverpool fans on our stream will want to have a look at. They are top of the table. 36 attempts at goal Liverpool had today. That is a Premier League record this season. And every single outfield player, including all the substitutes, had a shot on goal. So that's how dominant they were in the match. They did win 3-1, and they leapfrogged Man City into the top. 30 goal difference, 45 points from 17 played. City, 44 points, but they do have the superior goal difference. Spurs into 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Arsenal 5th, Man United 26 points. And, Pato, you were right, goal difference is 0.
Well, 1 point above Wolves with the same goal difference. 17
1 point above Wolves, yeah.
With the same goal difference. 17 games into the season.
Wolves fans on the stream, let us know how you feel about that. Let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. Fulham remain rock bottom. Lots of Ranieri still to do. 9 points from 17 games with a shocking goal difference of -26. Huddersfield and Burnley make up the bottom three. Pato, I want to come to you about this because you're very knowledgeable on Ralph Hasenhüttl. You're also an Arsenal fan.
I was going to say very, but...
but it was a huge game for Southampton, huge win.
Yeah.
His first home game in charge, of course. First week in charge. Massive win for Southampton, and it ends Arsenal's unbeaten run. What did you make of the game as it unfolded?
It was going to end somewhere. So, like, yeah, I don't know. It's a mistake in the end that decided it, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in a way there are some losses that are made kind of in the tactics room, some that are made on the pitch, and some that are made in the summer. And I feel like to a certain extent this is kind of a loss that was made in the summer.
Right.
You know, we had one half-fit centre back in this game. That's not ideal. And actually, Southampton have got good strikers now. They've got Ings, and then they were able to bring Austin on. When Austin's fit, he's a great striker. But Hasenhüttl has generally done a good job of turning clubs around quite quickly. I mean, obviously his last job was Leipzig, and he came into a team that were just coming into the top flight, but were well set up and finished second in his first season. But before that, he was at Ingolstadt. When he took over Ingolstadt, they were bottom of the Bundesliga 2, and he kept them up. And within 3 seasons, they were 11th in the Bundesliga. Yeah. So he is incredibly good at turning teams around. He plays a high-pressing style, which I actually think that squad is really nicely set up for, with players like Lamina and Redmond, really good full-backs, I think a good complement of centre-backs as well. So I think, actually, there's quite a lot to be done there. I think he can look forward to... This season, I think they'll finish mid-table. Yeah. The season after, with the right recruitment... what I'm really impressed by with Southampton is there's been a bit of a drain there over the last few years of talent... of technical staff, of managers, and now it looks like they've kind of overhauled that. They've got their director of football back. I think Les Reed has come back, has he not? Who was really instrumental in recruiting great talent for them. And they've got a really exciting young manager in the same way when they went out and got Pochettino from Espanyol. So I think, with the right recruitment, they can easily cement themselves as maybe the 7th, 8th best team in the league. And I hope they do, because Southampton, I thought, were the perfect model of how you should run a mid-table Premier League club when they came up. They recruited well with managers. They went out and they signed players, you know, took smart risks from lower leagues that bigger clubs couldn't quite take risks from. You know, a bigger club wasn't going to go out and get Mane from Salzburg, but they could do that. And so I really hope they go back to that, because I think Southampton were, for a long time, a really easy club to root for as a fan of another team. Yeah. And I'm not surprised. We always have a horrible time at St Mary's, and from what I saw of the game, though I missed a little bit on the way to this, I thought that they were the better side. Yeah, big win for them. 2 goals for Danny Ings and a goal from Charlie Austin. Mkhitaryan with 2 for Arsenal, but it did end Southampton 3, Arsenal 2. The other result from earlier was Brighton 1, Chelsea 2, and we've just seen Liverpool very emphatically beat Man United 3-1, which Bayo was a fan of. Bayo was very animated throughout the stream, and this is the best bits from today's show. Here's a chance now for Liverpool.
Pedro.
Goal!
My guy!
Liverpool!
My guy!
Mane.
My guy! Said he'll be the first.
Goal!
My God.
1-1, Jesse Lingard.
Jesse
Pete Dorman is a
Lingard.
happy man.
Look, I'm telling you, people don't feel like this is league football now. Like, this is my sort of football. I understand it. I understand it. Oh, no.
Longford was about
This is what
35
we've
yards
been
out.
doing. No, don't clap that one.
Yes!
My guy! Shaqiri! Yes, stand there with you. Yes.
What's
yes.
the goal?
Yes.
Who won?
Yes.
Big celebration. Liverpool
I'll
took
do the
lead.
celebration with you. Yes. Don't get mad at it. Don't get mad at it.
Big goal for Liverpool. Bayo.
Come on.
Oh, yeah!
My guy! My
3-1 Liverpool.
Yes! My guy!
Big goal.
But listen.
Adi Bayo, Akin Fenwa.
I am so confident now. It's mad. I'm
Liverpool
telling
could
you.
not turn up to their next 6 games and still be
still be
above
ahead of United.
Be above United.
I don't even want to laugh.
Stuff. What I love about that is we're watching that. We're saying Pete looked devastated. Pat said, but not surprised, which I thought was quite funny. Pete, let's get a United fan perspective.
Disappointed, to say the least.
Disappointed. Loads of comments on the stream, loads of good questions. Let's go and take some of the viewers' questions.
I've just seen a couple of stats here. That is Jurgen Klopp's first victory in the Premier League against United. And United actually haven't lost in the Premier League against Liverpool since the 2013-14 season.
It's all going right for Klopp.
Wow.
So, yeah, but there is a question here from It's David, and he has asked, where will Liverpool finish in the Premier League now? Obviously, you're top.
It's hard. It's hard.
You really rate Man City, don't you? But it's a heart of your head thing here.
Yeah. Listen, I rate Man City. I watch Man City. I rate them. And I remember talking to a couple players. I talked to West Ham player and a Swansea player when Swansea, and they've said Man City are the best team they've played against, period.
Really?
So, you know, my head says I think Man City have just got the know-how to get over the line. My heart wants Liverpool, and we're pushing them. You know, we are pushing them. So I'm going to go with my heart and say we're going to win the league.
Yeah, even though you're top, Liverpool 9-4 now with Sky Bet. Man City still the bookmakers' favourites to win the league, despite the fact Liverpool have gone top today.
Yeah, man, it's Man City, innit? Like I said, they've done it. They've got a manager that knows how to win. They've won it.
Yeah.
Again, they recruit. Will they again recruit in Jan? You know, who knows? But we're there. So, and we're still unbeaten. So
still unbeaten.
Yeah.
Only unbeaten team in the top 4 leagues.
Yeah,
and you talk about Klopp and his need to win a trophy, which we spoke about earlier on in the show. This is his 3rd full season as Liverpool manager. In his 3rd full season at Mainz, he won promotion to the Bundesliga for the first time in the club's history. And in his 3rd full season at Dortmund, won the Bundesliga title. So
it's an omen.
It's an omen, you think? Pato,
Yeah,
2-horse race for you, do you think? Liverpool, Man City?
I don't know. My head kind of says that it will be a 1-horse race. But after about March, I think Liverpool pushed them for a while. But I think City, despite the goals against, I think City have been much better in defence and in attack than Liverpool. I really do. Liverpool have been quite grindy recently, and they've been doing a good job at that. And like I said before, I could see them after Christmas just taking off. Yeah. But I actually don't think they've been as good over the first half of the season as they were over the back half of last season. And overall, Man City, unless Fernandinho gets injured. But then you could say the same about Van Dijk. But unless Fernandinho gets injured...
You think he's a linchpin?
I don't know how they run without Fernandinho. They've managed to... They got by without De Bruyne, they got by without Silva, they can get by without Aguero. But if Fernandinho gets injured, I don't really know what they do. It looks like it's going to be Gundogan and Stones.
Well, do you think Gundogan would be a decent enough plaster to patch it up?
But it depends how long it's for. I don't know. Yeah, I still think Man City should win it, and I still think they should win it relatively comfortably, but not as comfortably as last season, definitely.
I actually like the fact that Liverpool are grinding. Of course, I want them to. Yeah. I actually like it. It, for me, shows elevation in Liverpool's game. I felt that... and my always worry was Liverpool would start this first half of the season on flames, blow teams away. First half an hour, game 1. Yeah. And then it get a bit bitty in the second half, and when the weather's change and all that. And like you said, last season they kicked on. For me, it just shows Liverpool... When Liverpool grind through results, I think that's testament as a title-winning team.
Yeah, so it's a sign of a good team winning when you're not playing well.
Exactly, and that's what I think Liverpool have brought into their armoury now, that they're like, you know what, we're not that good. And who do we play when we beat 4-0 recently? Was it Bournemouth? Was it Bournemouth?
Yeah, Dean Court, yeah.
So you know, normally you're like...
And Burnley, I'd say away. Burnley were 1-0 up and were causing you problems, but you ended up winning 3-1.
So it's them games where what City do. You know, City sometimes you're like, oh, they're staying 1-1, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 it's 4-1, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing where I'm like, you know what, Liverpool, it's not all the time explosive, and it's the same what we did with Everton when we was here, you know, it was like, you know what, your 3 ain't really clicking like you normally do, but you somehow win the game. So, and it's like, I want it to get to a point when they've lost before they've even played, and that's what City had. Like, you had lost the game, you was like, we win 2-0, if City just win 2-0, and that's what I want, that you know that, right, even if you stop the free-flowing fast, Liverpool are still going to grind and win it, and that's the thing that I'm kind of a bit more excited about Liverpool for the testament of the duration of the season.
OK. Yeah, big win for Liverpool. That is all we have time for, sadly. We are back next Saturday with the Football Social. Steve Sidwell is our guest, 2:45 p.m. on Soccer and Football Daily's YouTube channel. So, big win for Liverpool. Thank you very much for joining us. Big thanks to Pete, to Pato, to Adi Bayrak and Fenwell for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday. Have a good weekend. We'll see you later.